about beforehand.
If you're just joining Apex Legends, what I will recommend you to do is like starting to grind ranked first of all, getting to those higher tier levels, and then starting to find people with the same mindset as you. Start getting into ALGS competitions, smaller competitions, and just try to get as much experience as you want. As you start this path, you're gonna start finding like what suits you, what's not. Like you start to get into all these different situations that's gonna help you improve, and you're gonna see if this is actually one thing that you want to commit. It's gonna be a long walk. It's hard work, and yeah, like Apex is fun, and Apex with competition is even fun.
The drone wars, they continue. We have Cryptos in this lobby, but one of the things about Crypto, I love playing them, but I never trust those darn banners. I feel like there's more than 5 teams in this vicinity, I swear.
Right? And you see so many of those drones now, solo queue goats with the redeploy. Don't know if they know all the action that's waiting for them on the other side of this landing, but I love this position that they're taking away from those buildings that are surrounding that beacon. They can overlook all of the drones just flying in this airspace. It's not just the redeploys that are congesting that airspace. It's all these EMPs ascend too with some of that extra knowledge. The EMPs going back and forth. It's going to be able to build into these Evo shields as Kashera is going to already make that swap just in case to see if they want to get back and forth. It's going to be Evo shield back up to purple.
I like that rotation from Solo Q Goats and Vicky. When we're talking about what Solo Q Goats did wrong yesterday, what do you think? I'm thinking maybe they just didn't rotate early enough or find good rotations like that. But they're playing a little bit more central now. Instead of going on over towards the edge, they were catching a lot of third parties, and then they were catching late rotations that weren't very.
Just remember, guys, too much pressure, those just bubbles.
Yeah. We just stay together and hold.
They might fly on us now. Okay, they passed through. They launch.
I'm going to go back to you. Open me the door, open me the door.
It's open, come.
Jesus, Wilson.
They have angles on.
No one is swicking.
Ascend are going to be able to try to poke from afar and try to pick up some KP from a distance.
789 locking down that platform. That's not the platform that we're talking about with the zip line. We're thinking more or less the high ground one over there. But this is another platform that's extremely popular, and you could coexist on the high ground, on the low ground. You see the pings going down. That's another very viable spot.
But play here. We just need to hold them.
I only have one cell. I think I need to play on you guys.
No, stay there for now. Just look around.
Here and here.
Yeah, but no one is
in, and this is what you have to do when teams start to fly in over towards you. Again, there's going to be a team in this trailer. There's going to be a team below you. There's going to be a team on the pings. That's why you have to consistently keep your head on a swivel.
And highlighting 789 as we take a look at their team composition, they're running the Bang on World's Edge. It's not Storm Point out here. Bang on World's Edge and the Bloodhound. So Gibby-less composition for a team like 789 could be risky in the position that they're currently in, but they do get to see this fighting that's happening inside of this Lava Siphon building as 4Gang too. With the intel of the crypto drone, they see the portal that's outside. They know there's a care package that's going to be blessing them here, but with the dome coming out a little bit late, the Arcstar sneaks its way through, but they're still going to be safe to obtain whatever's in this care package. And ooh, that's a Spitfire out here, wondering who from Fort Gang is going to be able to scoop that up.
I almost thought that was the world's worst care package, right? That's like my care packages that I get ranked. I'm like, okay, 2-4X, battery, what's on the other side?
I knew it, bro. Ah!
Já foi. Como é que está aqui? Temos uma equipa a jogar Edge, duas equipas, três equipas a jogar Edge. Os Kik estão a controlar o túnel. O OJ já vai para dentro. O Mania está a jogar ali atrás? Porquê? Os Navi estão a craftar. Ok. O Cacho tem uma boa posição. Se conseguir manter esta posição aqui, o Cacho é este aqui, esta cor de areia, o caraças, nem consigo perceber que cor é esta. Ai não, é aqui, está aqui, está aqui. Quem é que são estes gajos então que estão por baixo do Legend? Eu pensei que era aqui que estava o Cacho. Cá bocado estava aqui os 789, estava aqui os Se Comporta, não reparei que estava aqui outra equipa. E o Cacho estão aí por baixo deles.
This is good move. Like, people gonna 3P.
The two in front moved. Maybe we can walk in on the guys on top.
Are they still there?
They moved.
Yeah, but the team on top.
I'm gonna check the guys on top, how they are playing. Okay, we can walk on them.
Okay. I'm with you. Come.
Next, on me.
Yeah.
Gibby without shield, right on top, okay? He's watching the door.
What door?
In front, all together.
1, 2, 3.
Bubble, and kill the other
Adoro quando eles fazem esta merda, mano. Adoro quando eles fazem esta merda. Que o pessoal dropa sempre os shields por causa o pessoal dropa sempre os shields por causa dos criptodrones que andam à volta. E eles fazem sempre isto. E eles sempre que veem que alguém está a fazer isto, e eles vão a andar, não fazem barulho, chegam lá, pá. Adoro quando eles fazem esta play, meu.
Do you kill Wraith or?
No, they run away.
No.
I didn't touch it.
Adoro. Grande play.
Live in other zones. A lot of rocks up in play. This guy might look at us, so I'm gonna 100% ashport as a
Do
cross.
not think he can do anything. You might not need to be honest though.
I'm just gonna use it. It's not worth getting fucking
Okay,
cravered or something.
I hear you. Just tell us when you're doing it, okay? Give us a countdown and shit, okay?
Behind, right?
Para já vou ver aqui mais
You need to be careful.
It's team down there. We might get wildcard, guys.
posição
Team
dos
right.
The team down there is the bottom, guys.
I almost strike this guy.
aqui do posto.
That's the duo,
Os
right?
kick ainda estão vivos?
On the bottom.
Deixa eu trocar o mapa pelos kick. Não. Os kick já. Quer dizer, porque é que eu não consigo. Ah, ok, porque tenho mal mais. Pois. Deixa pôr esta lá em cima. Vou tirar o
Parem.
mapa e vou pôr
Coming back.
os kick.
Bro, we just play below here.
Might be something good this
We need to go in, you know why? Because if we play from tunnel, everyone's gonna fucking shoot us.
But wait, listen. This side is totally free.
Yeah.
This side is totally free, only one team in common. No, I mean, we
Eu acho que eles deviam jogar por cima, você não estou a ver o mapa. Mas eles têm a opção de ir para a esquerda do túnel ou para a direita do túnel. Para o lado do Yark ou para o lado ou para o outro lado. Eu acho que ia para o outro lado e entrava edge. Ele quer entrar para aqui para dentro. Que é tão risky irem jogar para ali. Eles não vão ter espaço nenhum, tem uma equipa lá dentro.
Can we walk up and fight them maybe?
We'll get fed in our back. Oh, hang
By
on.
who?
Wait,
Just walk
they
up.
might, yeah, they did. Okay, let's go.
Let's walk up.
Vou pôr o mapa também ali em baixo, só para ver onde é que a zona vai puxar a seguir.
Buildings.
Ok, a zona... Que espaços na zona é que temos? O Caixeira consegue jogar aqui. Não sei se tem ali algum sítio onde ele consiga jogar aqui, mas... Pronto, o Caixeira já está fodido. Já não tem sítio para jogar, o Gnasco vai ficar a ocupar a posição. Os 69 vão conseguir ocupar esta área toda daqui. Os ratos ainda continuam bem lá atrás a trocar tiros com os Navi. Também vão de Kona. Vamos ver.
Okay.
Back
We
to
should do it from.
Wait, one. Don't die.
O Cash puxou quem? Puxou o Gnask! Let's fucking go!
I'm gonna ult just in case. I don't know if anyone is pushing.
Nade, we're getting nade.
Puxou o
Play
Gnask!
on us, play on us.
Wait!
Play on us.
No way, mas vai toda a gente querer agora lá.
Literally land right here, right.
I'm gonna ultimate accelerator. I think
Que bem jogado, mano.
I also
Still,
ultimate.
Take nades. We might get pushed there.
We're gonna have to fight.
Wait, land in
We
here.
have to hide the back. Well, we have to hold the back. Focus on the back.
Back, okay.
Bem jogado, caralho.
TP?
Eu não vi
Guys,
a
TP
jogada
here.
toda, mas...
I'm getting fucking...
Can you put any pressure in this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw nade.
I've naded,
There's another team there. There's another team on the
nading.
back. We just
I
have
got
to wipe this backside.
Wait,
They have to fight
wait.
each other.
I
They're
need
not
to bat,
gonna do shit to us. They're not gonna do shit to us. If they move to us, I
Eles
EMP
estavam
them.
sem sítio e conseguiram...
They're fighting, no?
You can
no,
get
no,
angles
some
on
teams.
one here. You can get angles here on a
45.
Caralho.
Nade, careful. Yeah, careful. Wait.
That's GB.
I'm gonna have to smoke.
Watch out. There's a team on top of
Chill, Jax. I'm gonna EMP them. We wipe
They're
them,
moving,
okay?
they're moving, bro. They're moving. I don't know where they go. I'm gonna play here.
I'm healing. Can I
Queria
heal?
ver a imagem do Cash.
Healing.
I'm queuing back.
Guys, come back. We wipe this back.
Yeah,
We have to wipe
let
this
me in.
backside.
Let me in.
We have. Do you have EMP? Do you have
I have
ulti?
TP.
Give me ult.
No, 40%.
We have to kill this team right here.
Okay.
Give me cracked. Fuck, I need to go back. I
Yeah,
don't have
there's a
bats.
team here on top.
I need to put a
I'll
phoenix.
give you.
I need to put a phoenix.
Take bad.
Shield battery here.
Can we play zone?
Deixa eu
Yeah, let me heal trick. Wait.
Chill, guys.
Just chill. Just relax.
It's all about like, do we hold the back? Do we kill the back?
I don't know. It's gonna be a
I
shit
don't
kill
know.
to hold the back. I think. But it's better to hold the back because if we go bottom, we're gonna get fucked if we go bottom.
We can kill this team on the bottom, and we're
If we
chilling.
go, there's a lot of teams there, guys.
Okay, so we have to wipe the back. We have to wipe the
We
back.
wipe the back. We just need to wipe the back. There's a team there.
People that fighting.
Which back?
Out of that team.
We play here on the top. We're fine. We just have to go with full kill Gibby.
Okay.
Okay, there's a team right
Tell me what do we wanna play. I only have 4 health.
We play here. We have to wipe this team on the back. Okay?
Wanna do it now?
Just slowly. We go stairs. We don't peek. Okay? Can we go
Nate,
stairs
I have
now?
one nade.
Not
Yeah.
peek. Don't peek. Don't make noise. Let them fight in front of us. Don't make noise. Go to my right. Go to my right.
I'm coming. I'm with you. They're on the left.
They're gonna fight in front. They're gonna fight in front. Just hold.
Como é que os gajos de lá de cima
Be
não
ready
estão a
to
ver? Isto é tão bem jogado. O Cash anda a jogar tão bem, mano.
Go now.
25.
I'm bubbling.
Vai. Boa bubble,
I'm bubbling about.
O post já começou a perceber finalmente que a bubble é para não ficar low e não é para pôr no chão quando já está low.
There's a team on the bottom here.
O post está a começar. Eu acho que é por causa de não estar a streamar que ele fica muito mais concentrado.
I'm good as well.
Pause, take this.
Watch your back,
Take this.
Jack. Watch your back, Jack.
Yeah, take this. Take that.
I got my ult.
I'm watching right side, okay? Team it.
O Bex.
I can ult that team. Do you have MP, Cash?
Where?
Right
No,
there.
we should
Guys,
hold.
we
We should
good
hold for the end
position.
game. There are 2 teams there. We should hold for the
Okay,
end
okay.
game. The abilities.
I'm watching
Okay,
right
they're
side,
fighting
okay?
inside. They're fighting inside a lot.
I'm checking inside, guys.
Can you open the door, Cash, inside?
I'm watching right side, okay? I'm watching right side. Guys, it's
Espaço
full
é que
team
tá.
here.
Ok, os Kicks jogaram bem, a equipa que está ali meio a fightar com o Cash. Os Rats conseguiram dar a volta, só que vão morrer, estão bem cá para trás. Ok. Os IG ainda estão ali dentro, né? Era os IG que estavam ali.
Heat up over here, which you love to see. 4 kills.
Any cells, guys? Only have 1.
Yeah.
I got the field.
Take.
I can give you if you want.
Boys, pressure here. Pressure this team.
I'm
Pressure
watching
this
right.
team.
I'm watching
On my
fucking
feet.
right. I'm
Post,
watching right.
post.
Não pode, o post tem que checar a porta, que os gajos da porta vão querer sair por ele.
They're right here. They have to move.
Yeah, we have to hold them.
Os gajos...
I'm gonna
Não tens de segurar nada fora.
You want me to ult?
No.
Teammate.
Tu tens de segurar a porta. Só a porta. Deixa os outros todos fightarem. Segura só a porta.
1 HP range. I need kill. I kill one.
Below you on the stairs, post.
Climbing on us, I think.
Guys, listen to me. Big door.
Okay, big door. Watch the big door. We have almost up here too.
Yeah.
Watch the big door.
Não!
Getting beam by the top. I'm popping a cell. Be careful, Cash.
Watch the
There's
big
no
door.
one here on me. We're fine.
Nate, careful.
You can kill. There's no one inside.
They're on top. They're on top.
Give me
Okay.
one.
I'm on
Be
HP.
careful. Don't get fucked by the top.
So much
Give
to
ult,
me. Take nades.
give ult.
Okay.
Keep on us. I think.
Just focus on wiping.
Metem baixo.
You
Isso.
need to give out someone?
Não, agora não, espera. Se não está ninguém dentro, espera.
Give me ult right here. Now.
Give me ult there, give me ult there.
No.
Get killed.
Anda caralho. Os gajos estão a jogar tanto.
You on the left.
Está a equipa debaixo deles, caralho. Não saem dali os filhos da puta,
Wait.
meu.
Chill, boss. Heal.
I have no bot.
I don't have.
Chill.
We bubble left, right?
Push these guys. Push this duo.
No. Wait.
They're low.
Finaliza, dá armor só.
We have high. Rank 1.
Ganharam, com certeza, mano. Ganharam, os gajos não conseguem sair daí.
Let's go.
Go.
This fucking shit, guys. Let's fucking go.
Esses gajos, mano.
Player right above him, but it's Ascend with the comeback. They held their
Let's
ground and they
fucking
take
go.
game number 1.
What a crazy final circle. 11 teams. It doesn't get any more intense than that. You can just see
Let's go.
everybody getting on over towards that lava siphon side.
Muito
You
bem.
can play that game amazing for what, 15, 20 minutes, and it all
Muito
comes
bem.
down to the final 5 minutes.
You were talking about it before, Tom. This is why you had this team out in your sights, but Ascend has been making moves, and again, with this transition
Eles jogam
into
muito
World's
melhor
Edge
quando
being the
estão,
first
quando
map
não
that we
estão a
have within
streamar.
our first 3
Muito
games
melhor.
for today,
Ficam
I
tão
think
mais
it's going to
concentrados.
heavily benefit teams like
E depois
Ascend going
era
forward.
World's Edge, não é?
No
Para
doubt about
eles.
it. Crypto is looking so strong in the EMEA region right now, and when you go on over to Stormpoint, Bangalore is looking really strong as well as we take a look at how many kills they were able to do.
Os ratos conseguiram ficar em segundo.
15
Nice.
for Kick. They were going nutty.
Eles estavam
Interestingly
numa
enough,
posição
Kungarna
de
and
merda.
Raz combined for 1 kill overall.
Wow, 15 kills. Kick were popping off. I mean, we saw them drop down from the
22
hydrant. They had
pontos,
one
tanto
king
os
of the
Kick
hill
como
there.
Jacen.
They moved in
Nice.
for the third party. IG had Killman for the third party themselves.
É
Took out
pena
Solo Q Goats. Then Kick made their
o se
appearance.
comporta não
But
terem
Ascend
conseguido.
taking
Vou
the
estar
dub.
sempre-
They were placed on the
estás
other
sempre na
side of
câmara do
all that
post.
chaos that was happening inside of the building.
Estava. Estava a
Caustic
ver,
is so
estava
crucial in these
sempre
instances.
na câmara de
Crypto
Jacen.
Gansly, Valkyrie is
Que pronto, tens estas cenas novas, consegues escolher que equipa queres ver. Por exemplo, este é o window do Ascend, este é o window do Se Comporta e aqui é o mapa. Só que como tipo estão mortos, não é? Porque o jogo não está a decorrer. Pronto.
fragment
E depois
side, but
tenho
that
esta
could
que é
be
geral.
the most compact zone we've ever seen in the ALGS so far.
Isto é uma
I mean, it
nova
was
cena
insane. What,
do.
11 teams in that
Isto é uma
final
nova
zone?
cena
That was
do
crazy. Solo Q
Apex.
Ghosts we even saw
Eu
holding
vou-te
on to the
mostrar, eu
hydrant
meto
for
em
so
full
long.
screen, peraí.
They fell in 12 plays and they were only able to pull
Tu agora
in
tens
2
esta
kills.
cena aqui.
Reminds me of what TSM was doing yesterday, where you see
Isto é uma cena
amazing
nova.
play
É,
again for, what,
sabes aquilo do
15, 20
multi-stream
minutes,
que
and then
nós
you have
antes
to make this
usavam? Pronto,
extremely
eles
hard
fizeram isto para os
rotation, that
torneios.
zone
Agora, tu
starts
vais aqui ao
collapsing in.
Play
One
Apex,
thing you know, instead
clicas
of
no
looking
Play
left, you
Apex
look
normal,
right, and your team's out of a bubble,
na
and
stream
they're out of the
normal.
game. So that's just what happens in these type of lobbies. Very fast-paced,
O meu
great
PC
decision
fritou-se.
making. I love the listen-ins that we
Boa.
did with T-Rex as they were going through all of those different shot
O
calls
meu
to get to
PC
that roof.
fritou-se.
Also really
Acho que vou
surprised
ter
to
que
see
mandar
GMT
isto tudo
sitting in that
abaixo.
17th spot. We were talking about GMT earlier
Yeah.
on, but looking at the
Right.
progress that we have from our champion squad, Ascend
Pronto, o meu PC fritou-se. Liguei coisas a mais. Deixa-me ver se consigo ligar aquilo outra vez. Deve estar aqui montes de coisas. Que eu estou sem espaço no PC. Eu tenho o meu PC com 3 GB e ele devia estar com montes de fecheiros temporários. Olha para continuar. Então aqui. Oi, enganei-me. Sorry. Sorry. Ok, vamos lá outra vez restaurar as páginas todas. Prontos. O que eu estava-te a dizer há bocado, tu vais ao Play Apex, à stream normal do Play Apex. Eu vou-te pôr em full screen para ser melhor. Tu ver melhor. Quando estás na stream normal, tens aqui o assistir no centro de comando. E depois tens aqui em cima as equipas todas que estão a jogar neste momento. Podes escolher até 4 para ver, estás a ver? E eu estou com este layout. Estou com a stream principal, que é o símbolo aqui do Apex. Ascend, a equipa do Cash. Se Comporta, a equipa do Null e do Wilson. E o mapa. E vou trocando entre eles, estás a ver? 0. Aqueles códigos que eles mandam sempre para o telemóvel, que estão chatos, meu. Foda-se. Para mandar para o telemóvel códigos, ó, para entrar nesta conta. Se este PC que eu tenho, este portátil, tem impressão digital, ele devia-me deixar fazer a Second Factor Authentication com impressão digital, não faz sentido ter que andar sempre a entrar no telemóvel ou no mail ou qualquer merda. Foda-se, temos impressão digital e Face ID para alguma coisa, não é? Se as coisas evoluem, convém o pessoal evoluir com elas. Mas pronto. Deixa-me só fazer aqui uma cena. Se faz favor e obrigado. Vou atualizar aqui uma cena no instantinho. Esta cadeira não está na posição certa.
It is a momentous occasion in Apex Legends, James.
Deixa eu ver o que é que eles vão dizer
No,
para
not
aqui.
because it's game 2 here in EMEA, because I had my first sip of espresso this morning, and boy, it does feel good. We are back after a short turnaround, but excited as always.
Foi grande jogo do Caixeira. Este primeiro jogo foi pensado espetacularmente. O push na carrinha super bem feito, a puxar o Gnask. Aquele momento de espera que eles fazem nas escadas antes de começar a fightar para aparecerem pelas costas dos gajos, eles não saberem que eles estão lá. Super bem jogado tudo. Super bem jogado. Eu estou só aqui a fazer aquilo que eu estava a dizer e já vou dar vou andar um bocadinho para trás aqui na stream do Play Apex e quero ver outra vez essas 3 jogadas. Para ver se eles falam sobre elas aqui na stream oficial.
In these broadcasts on World's Edge. What do you think that's playing into it, James? Because maps obviously make a difference with the legend picks. How are they making a difference with just the pacing and teams feeling comfortable?
Well, we had quite a few teams in that final ring, so
tínhamos
we are seeing
14,
slower
11,
games
não era?
on Stormpoint as previously
Na
mentioned,
final
but
round.
11 teams in Zone 6. People are finding a way to coexist on World's Edge as well. I think there's a freshness to starting the day in Stormpoint, so when that comes second, then I feel like maybe the business end of the shotgun is going to be towards the end of the day. But starting on World's Edge, I think maybe people will come in a little colder. I think there's perhaps more alertness, more readiness when you have that fresh newer map in front of you immediately. So perhaps when it's Old Faithful, perhaps it can catch you off guard, at least in your first game of the day.
Mostraram alguma das
the team I want
fights
to
do
talk about a little
Caixeira.
bit here, Kick. They're sitting at 10th. Obviously, these guys got to perform. They
Não
have played
mostraram o
in
push
3
para
rounds
ali
like
para
everyone else
fora.
in EMEA. We're kicking off our 4th here, but
Pois
Kick,
não.
obviously starting off really strongly. They're a team that on the bubble for obviously
Não
if it
interessa.
started
Vamos
now
voltar ao
making
que estava.
land.
Não mostraram
But,
nada.
you know,
Pá, por isso é que eu acho que esta cena assim é muito fixe. Tu poderes escolher tipo quem é que queres ver, estás a ver? Isto foi uma cena que eles fizeram mesmo muito bem. Isto é, pá, não sei se já existia noutros torneios pela Twitch, mas quem inventou isto é super bem pensado. Está super fixe, meu. Mas tentar o kill feed, eu estava tipo a ver a cena do Caixeira porque ele fez, juro-te, ele fez um jogo perfeito, mano, perfeito, meu. Eles estavam sempre a falar. A comunicação foi super bem dada neste jogo. E era o que eu estava a dizer há bocado. É porque eles não estão a streamar. Eles estão a ser muito mais precisos nas coisas porque não estão a streamar. Acho que foi uma decisão super boa do Caixeira não streamarem e focarem-se no torneio. Foi super bem pensado isso que ele fez.
Well, it's World's Edge. Time to buckle up. Get in, get ready to go. Because it's coming at you 100 miles an hour. Game 2.
Só minuto. Olha, eles por acaso meteram na vida do Caixeira também por isso. Eu estou só aqui a mexer uma cena.
Got some great thoughts yesterday as we settle into game 2 here. Music kind of dwindling us down as the
só falta a possibilidade de quando estás a ver a equipa que tu queres conseguires trocar entre os jogadores. Isso era muito fixe também. Vamos ouvir o que é que eles estão a dizer. E tu consegues ouvir o que é que eles estão a dizer, o que também é espetacular.
Não.
I have a problem with backpack, bro. I need backpack.
It's gonna go there.
Deixa eu ver no mapa como é que, para onde é que está? Ainda não está marcado no mapa, para onde é que vai?
And they
Ok.
just make
Aí, mãe, olha aí, estou a jogar.
Olha aí, mãe, estou a jogar. Olha aí, mãe, estou a jogar.
Any digits? Is there any backpack on your post?
I didn't sell any.
Ok, isto agora como está muito parado, vou ver a stream oficial para ouvir o feedback deles, já sei. Visto que está muito
good
parado ali.
feeling that we used to have.
Está tudo no máximo.
Well, so much to do and so much to see here. Look at this circle pulling towards a little bit north of guys.
Ui, eu vi o está a cair em landslide.
We've seen one of these
O
circles
luta ali
actually
está
already
fraquinho, mano.
yesterday. And
Mas
a
já,
lot of the
pronto,
teams
eles
on
são uma
Overlook,
equipa
I
nova,
forget, it
pá,
might have
têm
been
que ficar
actually
com o que sobra.
Scars.
Não se
I
podem
know
estar
some
a
memorable listen-ins where they were
armarem
hyping each other up,
artistas.
hitting
E
a couple of
concordo
nice
com
sentinel
eles, pá.
shots across the way towards the team at Epicenter,
Eles
which
caíram
was
que eu
Solo
sei.
Q Goats at the time. So we are not going to be shying
Ou
away from this
caíram
one. All of
Harvester
the
e deram a
teams
volta. Não,
knowing
devem
very
ter
much
caído
where they need to
landslide.
start
Já
rotating
estão um
now,
bocado
and they
longe.
will start to make their way. It's almost like a conga line, James. Everyone following that same path, trying to get involved in a good position early. That seems also
Esta zona vai puxar para Fragment. O Cash, onde é que está? Ainda está em Countdown, ainda não fez a rotação para Fag West. O pessoal quer todo vir para esta zona aqui de No Name. À saída de Geyser. Como foi o primeiro, ganharam, mano. Ganharam o primeiro e fizeram um jogaço mesmo. Fizeram um jogaço.
For sure, and I think
Os
we're certainly seeing that being a higher priority
os comporta,
on World's Edge, but when
pá,
we get to
meteram-se numa
Stormpoint, I wonder
posição um
what the
bocadinho
contrast will be
complicada
like,
e
'cause again,
foram
we have
puxados
seen
por
some
muita gente.
underwhelming, very
E os
late
Geek também
movements
ficaram muito bem,
inside the
ficaram
fire
em
of the ring.
terceiro, mas com
See
15
if that
kills.
is going to be a trend
Tanto os
today
Geek
as
como
well,
já
but as we
Sand
can see,
fizeram
the
os dois
area where
22 pontos e
Huskies
estão
are and
empatados com
4gang were
22 pontos.
previously headed
Não
to
sei se
has
isto já
got
está
busy very
atualizado.
quickly
Deixa eu ver.
indeed. 4gang, it looks like they had to go for a plan
Já,
B and
está a
find
ver?
a different
22
building,
pontos,
and many
os
teams will
Geek
be
e
looking
as
for some
Sand.
shelter now, but it is of course going to be extremely limited
primeiro jogo.
indeed. Huskies though will certainly have something, and we can
Estou a
see,
dizer isto,
and they can
pronto,
probably hear
que
that
são
there is a team
as equipas com
below
jogadores
them.
portugueses que
I
lá
don't
estão.
think there'll be
Se
any
estiver a
gaps in this
esquecer-me de
particular
alguém,
building,
que
but
acho
in
que não
some
estou,
others we can find that to be the
comporta.
case.
then they take off
Acho que
the
não estou a esquecer de
shield
ninguém.
there as it drops. Should,
O
however,
Caixeira e o Post, o
still taking
Yarka
a little bit of damage. As
e
you
aqui
can
o
see,
Vil
Huskies
Shield.
just healing up. CL
E aqui
finding a
o
couple
Vil
of shield
Shield.
cells. You got to take that off much earlier, and almost has to be a blank shield on the ground before it doesn't take damage from the crypto. We saw to that a long time ago with some of the changes to how that EMP works and the shield interactions. It used to be, hey, everybody take your shields off in 3, 2, 1. The whole lobby just, you know, gets a little bare-chested for a while, then puts it right back
Yeah,
on.
eu estava-me a esquecer
Dell, GMT getting involved here.
ainda a play que eles fizeram. O gajo que foi kidnapped conseguiu voltar para trás.
He might have just gone back though. He might have got
Morreu, mas conseguiu voltar para trás. Eles estão a puxar, what?
The only reason I can see
Gnask!
What? He could win the fight, but he gets down immediately. Nasty, what just went down? Nasty looking nasty.
Que louco!
But it's gonna be Dell who cleans
O
up
Gnask
up.
passou-se.
At least Strafe has a chance here, as well as Nasty to reset with the
Eu acho que eu vou tirar o chat daqui de baixo, que fica um bocado mal. Ou se calhar vou tentar diminuí-lo.
Nasky getting his Leroy
Faz muito
Jenkins on.
sentido estar ali a
That guy
chat.
just went for the full send, but Macy he managed to escape that. That was rabid. That was scary indeed. He's just putting it out there. I'm willing to do anything. I'm willing to do anything. My lords, that was crazy.
You know, it's funny because they did go get a little
Eles
aggressive early.
conseguiram
I think this is great.
matar
This is a great place to
gajo,
fight
pelo
from.
menos, acho.
And in this
Leroy
circle, it kind of
Jenkins!
closes around, Epicenter, Overlook, and Fragment, and kind of centers in.
Leroy
You do see two different angles in which to
Jenkins.
approach it. You can kind of approach it from the Fragment side, which, if you were watching yesterday, the heroics of Shiv in Solo Q Goats, I mean, trying to make his way out from that building towards where the center was
Slake,
closing.
obrigado
It
pelo
was
follow
only
que
because
deste há
the Sin
14
fell
horas,
from
quando
the high
estávamos
ground and
offline.
stopped him,
Só
but
parei agora,
that
peço
is the
desculpa.
one way
Não
to
sei se
take
estás
this
aí ou
angle.
não.
The other way to do it is to be in these buildings. So if it does veer south, you have a chance not only to fight and stay in a contained location as long as possible, but then you can take kind of the high ground actually as it starts to dip underneath the train tracks and towards the road before you get to Fragment. So two different ways to approach this, but I tend to like and feel more comfortable on the side that GMT are on, alongside Huskies.
I need to see more kidnap attempts Where are the accelerants at? That was quite the entertaining, especially what happened afterwards. Just a chapter that we weren't expecting to read, but no harm done ultimately for the likes of GMT. Rolling with Huskies now, as again, they're playing the long game. They've got their position and they'll try to hold on to their shields as well.
Isto agora vai ter calminho para já. Vamos ouvir aqui o que é que cá está a dizer. Já está 1080. Só que como é a vista do drone fica assim um bocado estranho.
Kidnap someone. They didn't finish.
I'm watching walk teams.
Fizeram outro kidnap, de fato. Eles agora estão a mostrar a view do caixa aqui.
Anyone walk ulting, I'm gonna insta go outside.
São 106 pessoas a ver a view do JSN.
Group D until
12.000 a ver a ALGS Pro e 2 a ver o Comporta. Se comporta, yeah.
But we need to be explosive on whatever team.
Como é que está o mapa? IG a jogar Edge, 69 IQ a jogar Edge. Eu ainda não consegui perceber pela cor que equipa é esta, meu, que isto não dá para ler nada. Quem é que está ali? Não consigo ler. Ui, está aqui uma equipa super Edge, meu. dentro da zona em tri. E a zona a puxar para Frago East. Estão a passear mesmo os gajos. Querem jogar só placement. Deve ser uma equipa mais fraquinha.
Ain't nobody inside the house.
I'm on you ready, Urban. I'm waiting for my jetpack fuel. Hit it, vibes. We go survey and craft, then we're gonna try and hit this. Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna play this high ground, okay?
These. No?
Ooh.
Do you think anybody knows this? Yeah, right, Brent is.
From this side of the game, it's not that bad to play here.
Yeah.
It's going mid bridge again, that's for sure. But yeah.
Onde é que o caixa está? Não consigo ver no meio desta confusão toda. Ah, está ali. São os verdes. O caixa era a equipa verde. Que eles estão bem. Yeah. A zona vai acabar por aqui. E ele estava a dizer que queria jogar pela ponte, não é? Que ele estava a dizer.
It's just like these teams on top might play towards the top. The thing is like the way the top looks, I think the top next zone is gonna be out. And we can still be in. That's my
prediction.
My read of the zone, of the situation. Okay. And playing here, like I'm just afraid that we're gonna get griffed by 69 or.
Well, IG International just making their way downtown, as most of these teams need to do. Replicators, though, James, in their sights,
a jogar dentro da
the
zona.
staple for many of the days
Os
here.
Because anyone that sends to us, they're gonna be fully open to everyone.
True.
Just bubble one side post, like.
Yeah.
You know, I seen like fucking.
Watch
like, you can bubble here post, so we can get shot by this side and this side.
Like these guys should have no nades. These guys should have no nades. So if we make a move to this van, these guys are not gonna nade us. Like they can't. They have. They are playing crypto wraith GB like us. It's probably vexed.
Enemy agent over there.
And they run out of nades because they wasted everything on this fight.
Se calhar eles deviam de ir.
Pretty sure they did.
De ir para aqui para cima. Não? Deixa eu ver quem é que já morreu. Ainda não está atualizado. Ah, você não consegue ver o segundo jogo por causa de eu estar com zoom. Deixa eu ver se meter assim, você já consegue ver tudo. Eu estou com zoom que é para vocês verem isto em full screen. Do Command Center. Eles dão prioridade a quem faz kills em vez de placement. That's weird. Se bem que não faz propriamente diferença, porque o que interessa é o overall. Os pontos overall.
The team on top of us, behind us on overlook, is gonna play for the height. 100%.
Not sure.
Yeah. Any zone on us?
I'm gonna take the big.
Oh, imagine zone is on it.
No, it shouldn't be. It should be the van. It should be the same zone that we did yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, this spot is not bad.
But just be ready to make a move to the top.
Era o que eu estava a dizer há bocado. Eu acho que eles deviam jogar por cima. Eles têm give, conseguem.
No, you go outside and you TP your open field. Okay.
Okay. To the top?
Oh, no. Let's go van. Okay.
Okay.
Go. I think. Come with me. Make aggro TP.
Estamos em que lugar no geral? Eu acho que estamos um bocadinho mal por causa dos primeiros dias terem corrido mal. Estamos em 19º. De qualquer das maneiras, é assim, eles já estão qualificados para o playoff por causa de terem ganho o anterior, ok? Ganharam o split 1, já estão qualificados para o playoff. De qualquer das maneiras, opa, era fixe que eles conseguissem fazer cada vez melhores resultados. Primeiro, por motivos de dinheiro, não é? Que tens prémios monetários até a posição 20 e depois também opa, pelo facto de manter a consistência, né?
I died in the beginning of the game and they do a top 2 in the championship last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually insane. With Caustic. When Caustic was good.
Yeah, now it's fucking dog shit.
When Caustic was good.
I have the heirloom to Caustic, man.
Yeah, this team is not gonna move. The team on triangle is gonna play on that corner, so we just need to be careful with the team griefing with Valkult, okay?
Okay.
Guys, if you see any Valkults, just shoot.
Let me know.
Even if you don't hit,
just
like,
shoot
shoot
if you see someone, just shoot.
Just make sure that people know that.
Ok. A zona vai acabar onde o caixeira está. Um bocadinho mais para a direita, acho eu. Não. Não é essa zona. Não é essa zona, acho eu. De qualquer maneira, o caixeira está sempre dentro, pelo menos das próximas. Esta que vai ser agora, esta grande, esta que está aqui picotada e na próxima também está dentro. Está o pessoal a fightar ali em cima, deve ser esta fight.
And it's Shiv FPS and Solo Q Goats, my goodness, who took the fight. And they're going to regret this one.
There goes Def, Muterium, have to be careful getting their shields up. They were all naked on
Só
top of the
sobrou o
building
Shiv
and very
dali da
exposed
fight,
to
Solo Q.
shots from multiple
Que
directions.
estavam a fightar aqui na Edge. E já está a fugir ali o Shiv. Mas vai ser apanhado pelos IG que estão a jogar Edge. 7, 8, 9 estão um bocadinho mal posicionados, ainda vão ter que andar bastante. Os Kik também não costumam jogar muito Edge. Não sei porque é que estão para trás. Mas vamos ver aqui a stream oficial.
So we've lost a few teams there. We'll soon see on page 4 who has come and who has gone. We have started with 19 teams today, so just 2 that we've lost so far.
Engagement here from Kick. They were on the topic earlier on in the day.
Os Kik vão perder esta fight.
Looking to increase that. Massive bubble swap. Wingman in hand. Loses out.
Estava full HP, a Wraith.
Dances on him. Plays a lovely tune. An underrated takedown kick.
Yeah, I'm taking big.
Vamos lá ver se esta é a zona que o Caixeira estava a dizer há bocado. Checa agora a zona.
Garna build.
Não, é uma zona que puxa ainda mais para baixo. Eu estava a dizer a zona que acaba aqui, mas esta zona está a puxar muito mais para baixo do que a que acaba aqui. Eu sei que há uma que acaba aqui alguns, mas não, esta puxa para as pedras, cá para baixo. O que para eles é um bocado merda, porque eles não conseguem jogar pela parte de cima deste lado. Por causa destas equipas todas que querem vir para este lado. E não conseguem jogar pela parte de cima do lado direito, porque tem o Gnask atrás dele. Os ratos aqui e esta equipa em cima da casa que lhes dá uns bimos fodidos. Não vai ser muito fácil para eles jogar aqui. Ligaram-me. Deixa-me só atender isto, pessoal.
I'd rather go down than up. I mean, if you give me if you give me an HCOG, I'm good. I'll take it off before I go up. The 2 times I just feel wonky, man. And shout outs to these guys. I know in your games as well. Wingman shots seem to be the bane of many people's existence. Not IG though. They're doing quite fine. Shiv FPS as well, if you notice, underneath them. So we'll pay attention to that storyline. Meanwhile, Huskies, we talked about them sitting in the spot since the very beginning of the game. Well, guess who shows up? It's delivery, knock knock at the door, but they're not going to leave it there. It is 69 IQ Esports underneath. Huskies are going to have to go out and get their package, get that delivery, and there may be a little bit of a conversation about how much they paid.
With all these shields on the floor, the only thing we're missing to really add to the mix here is a Loba, and I'm sure we'll see them once we get to Storm Point, but if one suddenly appears, that would be quite interesting. We can see on the X-ray teams falling out of the sky as they try to find some position. I believe that's a Comporti. I can't pronounce it.
TP here.
Yeah, someone TP.
Don't focus on kills. Focus on holding.
Watch the team behind you. Oh, nade. Team here. They might push us.
Play on top. Come here.
One team here on us.
Go inside, Jax. Come inside.
As meias são tão chatas.
No, save your ulti.
O que é que eu perdi?
Wait, bubble.
Okay,
Ok. Vamos ter granadas de merda. Ei, esta bubble foi completamente desnecessária. Boa! Ai, cara! A equipa do Chico já foi de Kona também, solo kill.
Guys, they're not gonna do shit to us. They're not gonna do shit to us.
Ok. Vai checar a zona, cara. Não conseguiste.
I need heavy.
Conseguem meter ali uma... Essa granada é muito alta.
Perfect nade.
That team on top trying to make a play on us, guys.
No, they're not gonna make any play. They're not making any play.
They have Kraber, be careful.
Ui, cá sem estas portas é uma merda.
Don't die to the Kraber. Don't die to the Kraber.
They don't want to make any play on us. They don't want to make any play on us.
I need heavy, force, heavy.
Aquele gajo ali atrás tem que morrer, caralho. Aquele gajo não pode ficar ali na pedra, que vai-lhes foder tudo. Está ali um gajo de IG atrás deles que lhes vão foder completamente a play toda, porque eles não estão dentro da zona, eles vão ter que se mexer.
Careful the Kraber.
Kraber, you're exposed to the Kraber.
Boa, já foste.
Can I get loot?
No, you're chilling.
Já foste. Quem é problema aqui? Ok, se calhar o Cacho consegue ir para algum sítio mais à frente, porque estes gajos aqui vão morrer porque tem muita gente a focá-los. Tem duas equipas aqui a focar e os 69 e os GMT estão ocupados ali, por isso em princípio não vou conseguir olhar muito para este lado. É esperar que o Badoli faça aqui uma fight com o Row, com a equipa do Row, e o Cacho consiga dar uma third party ou alguma coisa do género, vamos ver. Eles precisam de conseguir algum cantinho, que eles neste momento estão fora de jogo.
Maybe now, post. You can ult now is good to pull. Now is good to ult.
That crypto off Kraber, okay?
If they bubble, I'm gonna EMP them, and we can kill them.
No, I'm not. They're not.
Eu não vou conseguir ir ali para cima.
Come to me. On me.
I'm bobbing about.
Joga safe.
We good.
Ai. Os gajos que estavam em cima daqui para onde é que foram? Que estavam aqui há bocado uns gajos? Não sei onde é que eles foram. O pessoal está tudo a fight, está tudo maluco.
Just hold your position.
Deixa eu ver o que é que está a passar aqui. Como é que está tudo aqui em cima e ninguém repara que o gajo está lá em baixo? Não faz sentido nenhum. Adoro. Oh. Tem tudo visão para eles se quiser. Em baixo está livre. Vai puxar mesmo para o meio entre a casa e os respawns.
Chill.
Não vais para baixo! Vex, não vais para baixo, meu! Bem, este gajo está a jogar tanto, mano, que é isto? Então o Vex, o gajo está a dar call para ir para cima e o Vex vai para baixo, tipo, o quê? Que lógica é esta?
18 seconds for bubble.
Just wait for the bubble.
Climb on me. Okay, maybe.
Oh fuck.
Esta pedra é fixe. Ai, o Cacho meteu-se exposto, não. E ele precisava do drone.
Kill the guy. Wait.
Este eles não ganham.
I need to bat, I need to bat.
Estão numa posição muito complicada para conseguir ganhar este. Os gajos que estão lá em cima estão muito melhor.
Push, with cut. Okay, I might die.
Não puxa nada. Tá bom, então. Fiquem em segundo. Tem 3 kills, ficarem em segundo já não é mau. Ficarem em terceiro, Era o que eu estava a dizer. Quem estiver aqui em cima está melhor. Estou a fazer isso há um bocadinho, mas... Quem é que é a outra equipa que está viva? Não consigo ler no meio daquela confusão toda. What the fuck é que se passou aqui? Desapareceu uma vista. Não ganhou, estão em baixo. Se esta Kraber entra... Ah não, T-Rex. Ok. Achando que fizeram mais um bom jogo. Para aí... Terceiro lugar, 3 kills, acho eu.
Wow. What a play. What a performance from T-Rex. Really unbelievable stuff. There were a lot of great teams that could have been involved in that one and had their name stamped on the winner POV. But T-Rex from the low ground nonetheless, surviving Ascend, surviving Kungarna, surviving GMT.
14 kills, primeiro lugar. Gasto mais 11 pontinhos, ok. Nada mal.
Yes, they really got the bag in that game. And you know, you have to give them credit. Kungarna had their Gibraltar down first, which means that there's no dome for the other players. And as we could see,
T-Rex é que fizeram um jogaço, mano. Primeiro lugar, 14 kills.
There was no cover anymore because the zone was so small, so closed in on them, and that really put T-Rex even
Os
from
Vex
the
de
bottom
gaming.
in a position when Kungarna didn't have the tools they needed to just make themselves a bit stronger. T-Rex exploited them, and the whole lobby with 14 kills.
I mean, it's a really good showing as well from 789. Solo Q Goats, similar misfortunate moments, losing 2, Shiv staying alive, doing some heroic work, but only gets 1 kill off of it, and so that's 2 points total. Horizon, they were involved in a pretty decent position.
Navi ali em último, 0.0 kills.
Definitely surprising point totals for them, and Nonsense here with another goose egg to start off the start of the day. It has been a dynamic performance, though, from some other teams that deserve to be in the spotlight. You cannot say enough about T-Rex. Kungarna also putting in absolute work. GMT and Ascend both being pretty consistent over the day, but Ascend will certainly be at the top of this leaderboard, I think, with an 11-point game off of that following their Game 1 win.
See the scores on the doors here. Oxbow and Kearney tying with 6 kills each. Oxbow just ahead in terms of damage, both with 4 assists as well. But you can see across the board that it was a team effort for T-Rex. And for an early game, to have so many kills and a victory is going to be fantastic, especially with a new organization name above your head. That is great to see. Put your name out there and make sure that everybody pays attention.
Yeah, what's also interesting, and I like what Oxbow and Kearney and Black
Estas está-me a faltar a palavra, mas não é overlays, mas estas apresentações que eles fazem são tão fixe, meu. O Apex, se começar a avançar aos poucos, que eu acho que está a avançar num bom sentido, se continuar o grind de melhorar a competição, vai ficar um eSport tão top. Já esta cena que eles fizeram do Control Center, de poderes trocar entre as equipas, já é espetacular. Pois eles têm estas apresentações das transmissões e assim, muitas cenas bem feitas, super engraçadas, com gráficos espetaculares.
Yeah, and in these early games, you can see how much improvement you can do. GMT moving up 9 places, T-Rex moving up 8 places. So again, it's still early days, and this could look very different in 3 or 4 games from now. But an early start is a good start, and Ascendant T-Rex will be certainly happy to garner as well. A name that we certainly mentioned, we're looking for something from them, and we've seen a fair bit so far. They are 10 points behind the leaders, but that could easily be reduced with another good performance in Game 3.
Nice to see Muterium, and they're really excited for 789 in the climb. 12 points up to, can they keep it up? I know a lot of old school Apex fans are looking forward to that. K Swinney and the boys, Slayers, Nags, 69 IQ, up 3 for Gang as well.
69 IQ está muito em baixo.
A look at our overall leaderboard here in EMEA. There's only been 2 games so far. This is the 3rd one on World's Edge, and it's a different shift, and so we'll see Storm Point coming up in Game 4. But for now, that is going to do it for James and I. In just a moment, you're going to see Vicky and Tom come through. We'll see if Ascend can keep this up. Is T-Rex chomping at the bit for another win, potentially? And what about 789? I like following that storyline. Can they keep going upwards and onwards back to their former glory? We'll find out after this.
We're still waiting to receive the second part of the tournament. A win. T-Rex. Good.
Lenovo Legion.
Lenovo Legion.
PCs that are stylish on the outside and savage
14
on the
kills em
inside.
2 jogos. Okay.
Lenovo Legion is the official PC and monitor of the Apex Legends Global Series.
Antes dos jogos 2, claro. Que ele ainda não está a contar os jogos 2. Eles aparecem aqui. Aparecem. Nice. Mas é bom que eles, opa, apesar deles terem vão sentir algumas dificuldades, não é? No início. Dá-lhes umas noções de jogo completamente diferentes, não é? É muito mais fácil perceber os erros quando estás lá a fazê-los do que estar a tentar adivinhar como é que devias fazer as coisas. É que uma pessoa de fora diz, faz isto, faz aquilo. Mas é muito mais fácil aprender se isso é bom ou não, fazendo as coisas e vendo como é que elas correm. E começando a perceber o jogo assim, grindá-lo assim. Isso é que eu digo sempre quando o pessoal pergunta qual é que é a melhor maneira tipo, de chegar a Diamond e a Master assim, eu digo sempre, sempre que tiveres tempo para jogar, joga o jogo. É assim que eu faço, foi assim que eu consegui. No início eu via muitas streams, aprender os básicos do jogo e depois pronto, comecei a adaptar a parte básica do jogo ao meu playstyle e a fazer as coisas como eu considero que é a melhor maneira para o meu playstyle. E aqui nos torneios é exatamente a mesma merda. É que o gameplay do torneio não tem nada a ver com o gameplay de rank. É que nada a ver mesmo. Eu não gosto nada de Storm Point, estou maçante ver Storm Point. O mapa é tão merda. Especialmente para competição. O World's Edge está tão bem desenhado para competição e para ranked. Eu nem vi como é que estão aqui os resultados. Este lobby está muito fraquinho.
Lenovo Legion is the
Field,
official PC and
CZ,
monitor of the Apex
Alliance,
Legends Global Series.
todos cá para baixo, imagina. Rebel.
If you are an Apex Legends fan, you've come to the right place. The high level of competition is out of this world right now. T-Squared and Vicky bringing you the action here on World's Edge here for game number 3. And we've had two different winners, two different zones, obviously. But my pick, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, as you should. I mean, top 3, getting the win in game number 1 and staying top 3 in game number 2, looking really good for Ascent. But I also really love to give that love over to the Challenger Circuit teams who made their way into staying in this Pro League, into the Split 2. And that's going to be T-Rex winning with 14 kills. Now looking at the overall leaderboard here, outplayed over by the other side. That's going to be Group B versus C. That's happening on twitch.tv/versusgaming_GG. Look how close it is, though. It's looking very similar to the results that we were seeing yesterday with Outplayed after that game. They're sitting at 26 points. And Phoenix Legacy, though, they've been climbing up. They're another one of those teams that have really been consistently started from the bottom and now
Phoenix Legacy.
One of the teams
Started
that you have
from
to
the
watch
bottom
out for,
now
though, is
here.
Nemesis, too, in 10th place. They jumped up 8 spots. They must have not really had many points before that, but they were a team that skyrocketed on the leaderboard yesterday. Surprisingly enough, you have a lot of the top teams on the second page here. You have Guild, Scars, Alliance. Rebel hasn't had the performance in this split that they were hoping for. Definitely a team that I am rooting for in terms of getting back to their full form.
Yeah, I'm excited here to see how...
Cancelled. Might be something good this way.
I have turbo. Let's see. Okay, I see the devotion. Good enough. Let's see extend and let me know.
Okay.
Then I'll rock devotion.
I need to wing it this time. Did I open mid, by the way? I don't know if I opened.
I don't think you did. I think at least I didn't hurt any. Please, a zone. Just one. Nope.
Gotta hop up here.
Man.
Boosted loader.
Kijk maar op in de nota per se. What?
Okay, I pick up that one.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
Are you taking the
Don't pick me anything. Don't pick me anything.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna give you the double one.
Okay. You have heavy as well, right?
Got an Evo shield here. Level 2. Shotgun bolt here. Level 2.
I need backpack, bro. Like, what's wrong with me?
I prefer Mastiff.
Maybe
Can we
open mid.
rotate fast? Can we rotate fast?
Yeah. This is energy. Havoc.
Havoc here. I need it.
I got wingman. I got wingman.
You are a wingman? You could have tell me. Fuck.
I'm gonna get the purple object on the middle. I'll give you.
Okay. Okay.
There's no extended energy, right?
There was blue extended energy.
Hey, take these, Jakes.
Ammo here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm good. Good to go.
Blue in the middle.
Jack, stick to blue.
There was blue extended energy where?
Like on the bins, on this bin, I think. The bin in front of you.
Open supply bin over there.
Do you find it? Should be there.
Yeah, it's here. Move.
Porra, outra vez uma zona de fragment, meu. Porra, caralho. Ele está a passar ali agora.
Looking all of Fragment to give themselves some kill opportunities remains to be seen here as you start seeing the rotations are coming through.
With a sound now. We try to go as much far as possible.
I think they should be in market now. I don't see anyone in the...
Oh, eles estão aqui para a frente deles. Yeah.
I have one.
I can hold.
Are we good?
Yeah, they're coming in the fucking building
Shoot
next
them.
to us.
Shoot them if it's possible.
They're on the top rock here. I can't shoot them yet.
Play. It's Sekompotaya. They're gonna behave themselves, hopefully, here. We do know that GMT are definitely not behaving themselves on the low ground. GMT, no! They dive in on no!
Não estava
He was
completamente
the
straight.
victim, the first victim. Make it to Vilshin. Oh, that's so unfortunate, but they were waiting their
Mano, eles não.
Is that team coming?
Não vou fazer
Okay.
nada.
Go! Valk, crypto! There's a full team on top as well.
Ei, o gajo vai puxar aquilo.
Go to the building first. Let's go this way.
Let's swipe. Let's just swipe, okay?
This team here, bro. Full team on top.
Oh shit, they destroyed me on top.
If you need.
No, no need. I
They wipe, bro. What's going on?
They wipe. Come inside. They're fucking blue
They
shit
leve
and
que
shit.
alguém
There's
joga
another team
alto
cast.
jeito.
There's another
Como assim,
team on
mano?
top.
Eu não estou a jogar, isto é
Team behind
eu
you,
estou a
team
fazer
behind
watch
you.
party do
Inside,
torneio,
this is
mano.
the building, Jakes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Eu normalmente faço streams de Apex,
Don't have bots.
mas hoje não estou a fazer.
I didn't even loot this way that I killed.
Hoje estou a ver o
Stop
torneio.
making that shit.
Scared me.
Mas se gostas de Apex, tens aqui um bom canal para ti, bro.
This is gonna be an issue, this team.
Eu faço sempre solos até Master todas as seasons, esta season já conseguimos.
Headshot, right? Wow.
Já cheguei a Master.
They swapped.
Onde estás a ver isso? Estou a ver no Play Apex.
Oh, can you check
No,
the
na Twitch oficial.
GB, Valk, okay? It's hard.
Vamos ver o que é que eles estão para aqui a dizer na stream oficial.
Trying to find out where the rest of the players are on the outskirts over here too, but
Vamos ver o mapa. Ok. Mais uma zona a puxar para Fragment. Se calhar até vai puxar para Epi. Ok. Ficar na parte de cima, perto do mercado é fixe, onde está o caixa, onde estão os rats. Os Mute também têm sempre uma boa rotação porque têm bastante espaço por overlook. Se precisarem de vir mais para sul, e também têm bastante espaço em survey na parte de cima. Vão ter que ter cuidado com a equipa do Zipet que pronto, consegue sempre cortar-lhes as rotações. Ainda há bastante espaço livre em baixo, tanto para os Kik aqui do lado direito, como para os Navi e para os 69. Eles conseguem jogar em várias posições sem terem de fightar. O problema é depois quando estas equipas daqui de baixo de Harvester e esta equipa que eu não consigo ver o nome, quiserem fazer rotação para cima, isto vai ser uma carnificina do caralho aqui nas pontes. Tanto nesta ponte aqui que dá a volta toda à Fragment, como a ponte do building destruída aqui. Por isso, isto vai ser aqui uma carnificina do caralho, porque só temos para aí 6 edifícios aqui na zona mais para cima onde vai puxar. E já estão todos ocupados, por isso isto vai ser ali uma loucura.
that's an empty POI where two teams are fighting.
STSU gets taken down immediately after that shotgun. Trying to dance around underrated, but underrated. They had the advantage already off the rip. You saw that player who was already down. A fight already happening in Dome, and we already saw so many teams fighting up by Fragment West. Now underrated are going to start making their rotation soon. They probably have that redeploy, but they're also going to have information
Underrated sempre a
on the
jogar
beacons
super
once
slow.
they start rotating forward in. But I like this patient play from underrated, because while they're taking their time to rotate into that next circle, a lot of the fighting has already been done in Capital.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, but it happens to me, but it doesn't happen like that much, you know? Like that much time.
Yeah, it doesn't happen, like, if I play 2 hours, it happens. It doesn't work.
Pega lá um bocadinho de shield novo. Tu já está arroz, nice, cacheras.
Purple post, you want to give me your shield? Or, no, I'm not gonna farm for a long time, so just if you're trying to farm, just try to farm.
I'm not trying to farm, I only have 6 cells and 1 bot. So
I'm 11-1.
He has a wing one, so it's not worth the trade.
He could really be quiet as a sender, just going to play this patiently. And the beauty about having the crypto Hero World's Edge and having these fragment heavy circle pools is
just hold.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Don't let them kill me on the bottom.
Trocar a view entre os jogadores da
You need
equipa.
to watch, but I'm not watching.
Yeah, I'm
Please watch.
Queria ver as outras views, tipo do Post e do Vex também. Não queria ver sempre a do Cash. Estas situações que ele está parado não fazem sentido estar a ver.
go for the beacon over by landslide, taking this very slowly.
Os T-Rex vão fightar aqui. Agora estão ali os Navi ainda.
Expect them to start rotating through those train tracks, over passing landslide, and actually approaching that construction building site.
Fugiram, foram para
Always
baixo.
a smart play to
As equipas estão todas a ir para de cima. Estão todas com a esperança que seja a zona muito puxada para aqui, para a parte de cima. Está tanto espaço livre em Fragment para aqui que os Navi conseguem ir para lá com facilidade. Os Underrated andam aqui a passear.
is a hardcore edge play, right? You have to be like, okay, who's sitting out here right now? Most likely nobody. So T-Rex going for a big safe play here.
Yeah, what I really like about this play from T-Rex is that by the time that they thought that they wanted to go for that beacon and maybe start rotating in that direction, they saw that the next circle already pulled away from them, so they just opt for a safer beacon.
O pessoal já viu que a zona não é happy, então está a fightar aqui para ser mais fácil tipo, entrarem na zona. Género, ok, a zona não acaba aqui, podemos fightar que ninguém nos vai dar third party para aqui, porque ninguém quer perder o seu local para vir ter connosco. É mais por aí que aconteceu esta fight. Foi mais mesmo género, ok, a zona não é aqui, ninguém vem para aqui chatear-nos, vamos tentar matar estas equipas para garantir que nas costas não vai aparecer ninguém.
It's so difficult. I also saw the Kangarna in a fight themselves, but Dolly getting a knock kick still in this fight here over by Epicenter. There's usually that beacon on the high ground of Epicenter too, and as we get to look at where the circle's pulling, it looks like it could potentially be one of those bridge final circles that you were talking about, Tom.
O que eu estava a dizer?
Aquelas
fights nas bridges vai ser uma loucura.
So
Ainda temos 13 equipas para jogar na zona 2 e é tudo quase open field, sem ser as 4, 5, 6 casas que existem ali. Metade das equipas vão ter que estar fora de casas. Ou então estão a dividir casas, uns com a parte de baixo, outros com a parte de cima. Só que a rotação que algumas equipas vão fazer para conseguir chegar ali, até lá estão mortas, até conseguir entrar. Se houver crossfires de todos os lados, temos aqui 3, 4, 5 casas aqui e tens 1, 2, 3, quer dizer, estas equipas estão a afetar agora, alguém vai morrer, mas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equipas a precisar de jogar.
Ooh, accidentally going through that portal, but still has that beast of a hunt right here as they are going to start approaching from a different angle. See Na'Vi trying to have the opportunity, but High Society, they're out of there. They want no business. Look how quick they were to disengage, and now they're going to be rotating in the same direction that we saw T-Rex rotate in.
Yeah, they got their Nikes on, and they are ditching that entire spot immediately.
Deixa eu ver o que está a dizer. Ok, mas como é que vês esse mapa assim? Pronto, isto aqui é quando estás a ver a stream do Play Apex, tens uma cena em baixo que diz Control Center, pá, não sei como é que é em português. Deve ser vista de comando ou qualquer coisa assim. Onde normalmente estás follow na página da Twitch, tem lá um botãozinho grande a dizer centro de controle, assim uma merda qualquer. É o Command Center.
Bitches. They were like trying to something.
Yeah, no, I know. It was good. Nice reaction post. I'm moving.
I don't have bubble. Watch out, go top.
I'm good.
Eles estão a puxar o building em baixo, vai para cima, cara. Deixa-os ficar com a parte de baixo.
No, I'm fine.
Ficas com air ground.
Se
eles quiserem fight up pitbull. Não vais para baixo, caras. Confia, confia.
We have no doors now. Yeah, they're all peeking in the bottom. They're all looking at the bottom.
Oh, get close. There, top. Guy. Close.
Stay open, we kill him.
Joga em cima, caras.
Watch out to that window, caras.
That's what I was talking about. Pigs have to come down. They're going to have to make the rotation down from that high ground. Things get a little bit
deadly. Esta equipa do Horizon que está...
the fragment side over towards the high ground of Epicenter.
Equipa do Horizon que está a ver se consegue fazer ali alguma coisa.
That team inside GMT who has been in that building for so long. Horizon, another one of those squads that...
Can we stay here, post?
Can we stay here, post? Não é aquilo. Não é da equipa de caixa. Era o GMT.
Bunker down in, but with their team comp, this is a really good move for them. They have the caustic, so they have...
Aqui é outra.
I only have to sell, guys. I'm gonna waste them all.
Take.
Então joga em cima, caralho.
I have 6 now.
They're playing well with the angle. They're just waiting.
PJ, do you want to try to kidnap one?
Yeah.
Do it.
Ele vai dar kidnap.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the door to you.
Yeah, but I cannot jump.
On the stairs, top of the stairs.
Okay. This guy gonna fucking pick me.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, just do it.
They're all purple.
Kill one! You gotta push!
Nice!
Ai, o Cacho caiu.
I'm pushing from below.
O Cacho caiu, não acredito, mano. Bem! Fucking go, meu! Ai, o poço morreu, mano. Está alguém a ver deles? Ninguém lhe está a puxar porque os kicks estão a afetar contra o Rats. Ok. Bem. Dá para dar reset. Bem jogado, meu.
Bro, it was fucking funny. It was like, what is Jax, man? And I just beam him on the back.
Nice.
Sim, eles estão a jogar, mano.
Let's go.
We going back or?
O Cash caiu ali a subir, claro que não é culpa dele, que às vezes o jogo dá aqueles bugs e não sobe as paredes ou caralho. Bates em merdas que não existem. Mas tiveram, apesar disso, correu muito bem. Fora é aquele erro a subir a parede, foi tudo super bem jogado. Também com o chá de Devotion com turbojar leva-se tudo à frente. Queria ter visto a view do post quando fez aquilo. Para ver como é que ele matou, que eu não me percebi como é que ele matou um gajo.
This is like a scream lobby.
Yeah, this is so fucking
Finally,
easy.
they're actually trying.
This is so fucking easy. Que mataram
Should I
o
hold?
Mania. Os ratos daquela fight estava a ver aqui. Pois. Broken Building, como tínhamos falado há bocado, não é? Isto vai acabar aqui. No meu rato. Não tenho rato agora. Caixa, onde é que tu vais poder jogar? Estão a ver este bocadinho aqui mais saliente. Eu acho que isto é aquela edge que tem aqui uma plataformazinha. Que tem aqui uma parede. Eles, como estão a jogar de Gibby, se calhar conseguem jogar ali. Não vai ser nada fácil porque eles ainda têm duas equipas atrás deles. Eles vão fightar agora os Kick na rotação. Os Kick vão querer vir para aqui, eles vão ter que os fightar. O problema é que está também esta equipa. E depende do que esta equipa faça. Se esta equipa vier para aqui para a parede e para as bines e jogar aqui, pá, não serão problemas para eles para já. Mas se esta equipa achar que tem que conquistar aqui o mercado, porque aqui o mercado ainda vai estar dentro da zona, isto vai começar a ser aqui um massacre, porque vamos jogar duas equipas, só há aqui espaço para duas equipas, talvez três, se esta plataforma for a que eu estou a pensar, e estão aqui 6 equipas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equipas, os Navi vão para baixo, não vão para cima. Mas estão 6 equipas para 2 lugares que dá para jogar, se calhar 3, se esta for a plataforma que eu estou a pensar. Já não me lembro já não jogo World Edge há muito tempo. Por causa da porcaria do fucking Olympus que está na rotação sempre. Mapa de nojo. Olympus Storm Point. Give me back my King's Canyon and World's Edge, please. Ou então criem um mapa novo que seja bom. Vamos lá ver o que é que acho que vai decidir. O que eu estava a dizer era estas plataformas que vai aparecendo assim, aqui, que não toca na lava e está mais escondido daqui de cima. E acho que há uma ali à frente que dá para jogar e está dentro da próxima zona, mas tenho que ver. Que é aqui, onde eu tenho aqui... Não, sai daí. Aqui de baixo, atrás deste carro, aqui... Não dá. Atrás deste carro tem aqui uma plataformazinha, mas que é onde eles queiram, ok. Não dá para eles jogarem lá. Pronto, os gajos estão a jogar onde eu estava a dizer. Os Kick estão a cair lá também? Não, foram por cima. Os IG estão na plataforma que eu estava a dizer. Os Kick vão jogar aqui. Os Kick querem ficar com a... Não vou conseguir ficar com isto. Está muita gente aqui à volta.
Should I keep you back?
No, I'm fine.
O Cash quis ficar com a parede? Ok.
I finished.
Can we go try side?
We finished them. We wiped them.
Wait, Cash, wait.
Cash. Não morras. Caga no gajo que está em baixo. Ok, o Graceful está sozinho, não vai ser problema nenhum. Ai não, estão lá dois.
Backside.
Can we jump?
Não. Não.
Can we just jump? All together?
Yeah. 3,
Não.
Calm down.
Não faças isso, Cash, por favor.
2, 1, go. I got fucking.
Tu vais levar beam de toda a gente, vais morrer para a lava, não vai compensar nada isto.
Oh, thank you.
He died. One guy.
Agora vão ser puxados.
Heal, he's dead.
Estes gajos não vão puxar? Tipo, os 69? Vem uma fight, veem que não está ali ninguém, vem uma third party e deixam dar reset? Adoro. Ah, não deixaram, vai. Demoraram tempo, mas mesmo assim não deu. Não sei se lhes compensou fazer esta fight. Porque os gajos iam sempre estar numa posição de merda. E eles chegaram àquela posição com o Val Culti. Eles não iam ter o Val Culti para conseguir sair da zona agora, desta zona assim. Eles vão ter que tentar ver numa daquelas plataformas da lava.
Yeah, right down the corner. I see her on the bin.
I'm dead.
I'm opening the bin. Jax, on me.
Oh! Oh! Fucking go!
No, lost one. I think he's low. Nice.
Oh gosh!
I'm gonna come to you.
Meu Deus, que lindo! Que lindo, senhor Cachera!
Hey, just die, Jax. They're gonna kill you.
Cash has us. Cash, you can have us with the crypto.
Adorei esta puta desta Devotion, mano. A Devotion é uma cena tão linda. Adoro.
Oh my god.
Oh, bro.
Eles vão dar res.
Good luck, bro. Good luck. Yeah, it is. It's 100% worth it.
It is. They're gonna, everyone is gonna show up like to try
We go
to
place
kill
it.
us.
We go place.
No, we shouldn't.
Do it,
We shouldn't.
fuck it.
Do it.
We're just giving free kills, guys.
No, we're gonna land on the bridge, bro.
Do it later when the zone starts closing. They're gonna start fighting, and you do it.
Eu roubava aquele beacon daqueles gajos que estão ali. Está ali uma equipa a dar res em cima. Aqui. Está aqui uma equipa a dar res. Eu ia lá roubar-lhes o beacon deles. Oh, aqui outra equipa a dar res.
You have that beacon on the middle of the bridge now.
Yeah. You might res us there, bro. No.
I will. Chill.
A cena é que o caso.
By the way. Good luck.
Where
we should go?
I don't know.
Aí o caso ficou preso.
It's the whole team on the bridge, guys.
Yeah, I know.
There's a bridge for you. Where are you?
I'm trying to. Stay alive.
Cacho que vai com a Devotion, vai limpar esta merda toda, vambora!
Play face me, please. Play face me. You can't use me. Come to you. Full team, man.
Fechar esta merda toda de Devotion, vambora, para a frente é que é caminho.
Stay here. Post. They're pushing.
Se carrega a arma, não tens arma carregada, Cacho. Caga no shield.
Stay fucking here. Don't move. The zone is ours. I need that Devon. Oh shit.
Carrega a arma, não tens arma carregada, Cacho. Só devias ter carregado a arma há tanto tempo quando estavas esta raid. Anda lá. Vai, já estou em quinto. Eles têm pai 6 kills, por isso.
We're chilling. Yeah, we have to wipe on the back. No, we're not. We don't need to wipe anything.
Chill, guys. Chill.
Yeah, we have to.
Posso morrer, não interessa. Eles viram! Não! Vai para cima! Ah! 10 strike. 4 kills e 6. Acho eu, não?
That's not going to cut it. Had to be from one of the respawned players that got out from the Ascend squad is 69 IQ with the big brain play up over towards the high ground. Now all of a sudden they fall.
Bro,
not what you were looking for.
Potential
heal-off situation here, Vicky, but they're going to send over towards the bottom, understanding, hey, we got the caustic, we got the gas. Maybe we could win this one.
Hey, Nox is gonna do it. Nox is gonna absolutely do it here, and he still comes on top.
Meteu
69
médio na altura
IQ here.
certa.
Navi couldn't clutch it, but 69 IQ
Eu não sei, eu concordo com o Cacho, eu acho que ali não compensa dar res. Porque estás a dar kill, estás a dar 2 free kills aos teus adversários.
So much caustic gas over there that Slayers was just taking them away. You saw the heals coming
aliás,
through
concordo com o
towards
Cacho,
the
mas
zone. So much action to begin that one. The last thing you think it would end on is a heal off.
Yeah, right? I mean, even at the very end there, the opportunity was available for 69IQ Esports, and they weren't able to take some of those last shots, but a beautiful performance and placement here. 9 kills and a victory going in favor for that team. Navi coming in second place, so they had one heck of a game. 8 kills, but overall, it looks like in terms of KP, Tom, it's very even within our top 5 squads.
It really was, and that means the rest of these teams, unfortunately, aren't going to be able to scoop up many points. The winners from the previous game, T-Rex, not looking like they had their best performance, but you got to give credit where credit's due again with these caustic teams. Also, the great plays coming in from Ascend, Kashera getting the reses back on towards the teammates. You didn't think that was going to be possible. I believe they went from 7th to 5th right there just based on that alone.
Nice. I love what I'm seeing here. T-Rex, also another one of our teams. They won game number 2, but in terms of placements, they still stuck together in Fragment, and that was such a tricky circle, too. We saw all the action happening over by Epi, a lot of those teams like Cake coming away from winning those fights, and then already a lot of these teams situating themselves inside these buildings. We saw the jump onto Se Compota. Yeah, they were not behaving because GMT, they were waiting in the shadows for them to just dive in on top of them. But we saw all that heavy action at the start of the game where not even GMT was safe. Their third party rolled in, and then the fourth party came after that.
That was an amazing thing to watch. Yes, GMT set up for that ambush. That was a tough situation, but 69IQ Esports, we'll see if they can flip this lobby upside down. What a job by them. Again, 4 kills coming in from Slayers and Nags. He's putting down the damage, but he's putting down the assists as well. Who's stealing all my kills? It's my teammates.
You hate to see it. Why are you griefing me of my own KP out here? But no, this is a team effort. 69IQ Esports coming out on top after that game number 3, our last game on World's Edge. You can only imagine, how is this going to shift the overall leaderboards as we transition into Storm Point?
É o que eu estou a tentar ver, mas esta merda não... É que nós pronto, os Ascendem em Storm Point não são tão eficazes como World's Edge, por isso é que era fixe manter o primeiro lugar com bastantes pontos de vantagem. Manter o primeiro lugar tipo com 20 pontos de vantagem ou qualquer coisa assim do género era espetacular. Eu não reparei quantos é que fizemos já há bocado,
You're absolutely right, and I love that I get to come in and bring y'all back to our first match, because of course, as you said, we are on World's Edge for those first 3 matches, and then we head on over to Storm Point and mix things up a little bit. But let's take a trip down memory lane with some match 1 highlights, specifically that in that mid-air crypto party and the 11 teams in the final zone.
Let's go.
Let's talk Ascend for a minute, because they really came in these first 3 games and showed us what they're made of. Talk to me about how they positioned themselves for that late game, especially considering how far south the zone pulled.
That's a great point, Kate, because of the fact that they had that crypto, the constant knowledge of what was going on, not in just the scans, but the overall map of where the positioning for the players were. And then you just saw how important it is to get on over towards this building and the teamwork that it takes to try to close this one out. There's so many different teams, there's so many different comms that you have to have, and you have to stay calm in these type of instances. But Ascend just put together one heck of a game. You saw the amount of kills that Kick was picking up too. They've been having themselves a day. Great massive shots, but again, Crypto just looks so strong in the EMEA region.
Absolutely. And Vicky, let's talk about match number 2 as we look through these incredible highlights here. We saw a team like Huskies holding their position early, sacrificing that utility, gambling on what I call a death box buffet to hold them through the final circles. Talk to me about that strategy. I mean, honestly, Rain likened it to an Uber Eats delivery.
I mean, think about it. There was just so many teams that were congested inside these buildings, very similar to that final circle that we saw in game number 3. But what was even more impressive was seeing that T-Rex, they were able to rotate all the way from Thermal Station into that next circle, all the way to the northeast, and still able to take the dub with that positioning. They were played off of the low ground, and even though Kungarna had to play this as a duo, they still were able to play around that zone beautifully, something that was absent in Kungarna's composition since they had to play that as a 2-man.
Absolutely. Look at that T-Rex coming in hot. And you actually alluded to this before we started talking about these highlights, but we got to talk about that ambush domino effect to kick off
este push do GMT é espetacular.
On the railing, but then again, the ambush turns into a reverse ambush, and all of a sudden, everyone starts going over towards this building because they understand how important it is to get into Fragment and get these top teams out. That was a very surprising fight for me between, I think it was underrated, and then 7, 8, 9, but it's all about this broken building. Anyone that knows this building knows that this is a majority of where the kill points are going to come from. It's so difficult to go and lock down as teams are pushing in, but look how small that circle got, and the healing coming in from Nags was so smart.
Big brain plays, we call him. Big brain. Hello, 69 IQ. For sure. Well, it's been so interesting, of course, to see some of these teams and where they have been dropping here, Vicky, and how those zone pulls have really taken those drops into consideration, or I should say perhaps the other way around. Talk to me a little bit about specifically around where the Congarna High Society 4 gang little cluster is here.
Yeah, I mean, you could expect them to meet up in that choke point, going towards Fragment, east rather. And that's why you see a lot of the fighting happening in the middle of these transitions, but also the fighting that we saw happening over by Epicenter. We saw Solo Q Goats, they made their rotation right over to the north. They met up with Deuterium. Rats got taken down by Kick, who also rotated in their direction. So many of these teams, with their quick rotations, these redeploys, really planning out that final circle, but not playing this as passively as we may have expected in this circle that was going to engulf a lot of these buildings where you expect to see much more costing. Yes, and I'm such a fan anyway. So anyway, let's talk about the leaderboards and how this all translates into our math quick. And here we are. Tom, I mean, listen, Ascend coming in hot, obviously. They're bringing things here at number 1 for this match number 3. My gosh, that's a pretty good total. That's a pretty good total coming into Stormpoint.
It's a great sign for these teams for sure, but now the big question that Vicky always reiterates is how are they going to do once we switch over? What are going to be the compositions? It's a completely different ball game now when we go on over towards the other map, because you know you're going to see less caustics, maybe still see cryptos, maybe some lobas, maybe some less bloodhounds, more Bangalore is probably going to be on the map as well, but it's still anyone's game, and fortunately for the competitive aspect of it and for all the fans, Ascend didn't just run away with the lobby.
Agree to agree, and as we take a look at the second page, like, to be honest with you, we also saw some great plays from 79. We tossed up. I can't believe that IG is number 13 right here.
Yeah, you know what's so surprising here? Remember, when these two teams had faced off against each other, IG was leading the overall scoreboard against all these other teams. But it makes you wonder, as we go into Stormpoint, like Tom mentioned, is IG going to turn things around? Because this is where they really perform their best. You saw earlier on, too, when Ascend was performing, and we started off on Stormpoint, they had a bit of a rough start, but I do think they have started figuring out Stormpoint a lot more, looking at their performance in round number 3.
Absolutely. We're moments away from that. But let's take a look at our secondary stream because, of course, we are all Apex all the time, and we got 2 different streams. And here we are. Tom, I mean, this kind of, in a strange way, somewhat mirrors what we've been seeing here on our main stream.
Pretty similar scoreboard, Kate, realistically. And Empire is one of those teams that, when we saw the first day of EMEA, was splitting games with players. So they know what it takes to win multiple games. It's not that surprising to see them over towards the top-hand side. But I love seeing teams like Fenerbahce and Odin get up on that kill lead, or get on top of that leaderboard.
Estão a jogar jogo
here.
muito
and
bem
as a reminder, everybody, twitch.tv/versusgaming_GG if you
o
want to
Iarca
take a look. And we're seeing, I mean, listen, I'm looking at Scars right now, I'm looking at players, some of those teams, players specifically that we've seen do incredible things, Scars as well, and here they are on our second page.
Yeah, I think that has to do with the map rotations too, because we saw players pop off more so on Stormpoint. So it's surprising to see players on that second page, but also surprising to see how some of these teams are starting to make the comeback. I saw the jump to 11 spots there, looking at Group C versus B. I'm wondering how things are going to iron out for the rest of the day. Things are going to significantly change, or are they going to remain consistent throughout both of, or rather 4 of these groups, since the score seems so close?
Porque eles estão aqui no meio do mapa, e ok no meio do mapa. Tem a facilidade de chegar mais rapidamente a todos os cantos que a zona vai puxar, mas depois tem o problema de, se chegam lá primeiro, têm que os defender. E eles ainda não estão a um nível como a maior parte das equipas que temos aqui. Então, para eles é muito difícil eles conseguirem defender uma boa posição a 100%, porque eles ainda não estão a um nível que lhes permita isso. Por isso é que eu estava a dizer que se calhar para eles seria melhor jogar Edge, tentar para ver, ok, ninguém, falta quantas partidas? Faltam 4, aconteceu agora estas 3 foram em World's Edge, e agora vamos ter mais 3 em Stormpoint, infelizmente.
Who would you be fielding coming into this next map?
Ooh, I'd probably be going something like Valkyrie, maybe Gibby, and Horizon. I think that Horizon is fairly underrated right now. We're not seeing a lot of that in the EMEA region, but it's going to come down to the one thing that we always know is the zones. Where are the zones going to pull? And a lot of those zones that we saw on World's Edge were classic Apex zones we've seen thousands of times, or at least, hundreds of times, maybe not hundreds of hundreds of thousands of times, right? These pro players have seen it a lot. They haven't seen it that much in Storm Point.
You're absolutely right. And more Horizon is always better. That's what I say, Tom. I agree. Speaking of things that are always good, let's talk about our socials. If you want to know more about our teams, our players, the scene, head on over to all three of these social players here. Play Apex Esports on Twitter, play Apex Esports on YouTube, and play Apex on Twitch. It's going to be great. It's everywhere you want to be. It's exactly how you want to get better. Well, take a look at all of the content that they have there. Well, now it's time for us to head to break. But don't you worry, because on the other end, we got match number 4. Storm Point, baby. We'll see you in a minute.
Storm Point, baby.
Nice, you win this.
Nice, we win this.
They're climbing up. I've knocked 2. Nice! Let's go! Goal, bro! Let's go, man!
Let's fucking go!
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series.
The teams split into 4 groups. Teams play 6 series. Teams earn points based on series placement. Top teams qualify for split to playoffs. Let's go. Agora tanto tempo entre jogos, foda-se, uma pessoa ficar aqui a dormir. Sanya Natus Vincere, ou mais conhecido como Navi. Natus Vincere. Por causa do reflexo ele não foca bem na câmera, no telemóvel. Eu gosto de gordinhas, mas Newton, não podes escrever isso. Então coloca aí, quanto maior a massa, maior a atração.
It's taken a detour. We've had our layover in World's Edge. It's time to get back on and get dropped off in the newest map of Apex Legends.
Newton be like...
offers a wide variety of differences, albeit Legends.
Ok. Storm Point. Odeio. Não esperem grande cena de Storm Point. Eu odeio esta merda deste mapa. Tento sempre jogar o mínimo possível. Por isso... Yeah.
That is the question. Versatility is very important, and we'll see who is looking more versatile in the first of 3 series here.
Não esperem que eu dê muito conhecimento sobre este mapa.
As well as the flyers, who can be quite handy actually for a level 2 backpack or a 2-time scope if you can catch them. So that can really save you some time. We'll see if anybody manages to. Actually, probably won't, because there'll be more other things interesting as well happening now. To compare World's Edge to Stormpoint, one thing which has been very notable in, let's say, the last 2 days of action across EMEA and North America has been the propensity for teams to the late crafting and rotating all tooled up. I want to say it happens more when there's a north ring than a southern ring. I could be wrong, but we're about to see because here we have a southern ring heading towards Gale
Aconteceu exatamente o que estávamos a falar há bocado. Eles como caem tão central, eles vão ter que defender tanto a posição deles, vão ter que fazer tantas fights para defender a posição deles que não sei se é boa ideia para eles. Mas esperemos que sim, vamos ver se eles se aguentam forte. Eu quero ver para onde é que o Castro vai querer ir, porque pá, não faço a mínima ideia de onde é que isto vai puxar. Deixa eu ver o que é que o Castro está a dizer.
I don't see. Can we see maybe Ethno team? What are they doing?
You think we can
I see them. They're playing here, bro. It's Ethnos. Ethnos.
We can take the zone. Like,
we can take the other building. Let's take the other building.
You wanna block out on it?
Okay, come to me. Come to me. Come to me.
Oh, we have white. This is the problem.
Yeah, we have bad loot.
We have white.
Fuck that. Yeah, they're playing Athena.
We'll land that.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna don't release. Okay.
I got hit. Where?
On the back.
Estão a cair no Bills.
Replicator will be on the way late.
I think they're trying to push.
O Bills está a jogar agressivo contra a equipa do Caixeiro.
I'm gonna stay on the door.
Don't show the white post.
I have no bats, by the way.
No bots either.
No, I have one bot only.
This is why we should just start off.
Yeah.
They are going to try our doors actually.
Yeah, let them. It's fine.
I'm not gonna pick, bro. I have no cells.
We're gonna like if you want to evo your shields in other teams around, not on this one, okay? Because this one might
do something on us.
Jax, can you play on the back side, outside?
Yeah. But I have a car.
No, I just want people to see you if they fly.
Eles vão jogar calmos porque estão com o shield branco, não vale a pena ver a stream deles para já. Os kicks já mandaram uns 7, 8, 9 dar uma volta, olhar grandes.
As his teammate was following up, it'll be OJ Rain who finishes Kasanya on 7, 8, 9, and it is Stesu who bleeds out, so a good start from Kick.
Fish Farms looking like a common place for contesting from what we've seen of late. Very spicy action in that area. Suddenly we move to 17. We've spoken about slow starts to Stormpoint, but that doesn't seem to be the case for our first game of the day. Na'Vi with some close quarters action as well. They've got some cover, and they'll try to at least hold position for now. It seems they will look to be pushed by the other team and try to hold a superior position and capitalize on any opportunity that may come their way. You can see them by the double doors there, Rugby, making sure that they are ready, limiting their vulnerabilities. We can see Sanya's holding down 2 jobs, looking to his left and looking below as well. And they'll have to play off their scans if they are to make a play here, Na'Vi.
No,
refresh the information that they have. So this is going to...
Ok. Já estão-se a manter.
No!
Se a manter vivos para já.
They're crafting.
It's all more uncomfortable.
E o Caixeira ainda não vai poder fazer nada.
Quando,
falta quantas partidas? Já respondi há bocado no chat, desculpa. O Caixo tem que conseguir dar, disparar para outras equipas sem que sejam equipas que estejam prontas para lhes puxar. Porque se alguém que está à beira deles, se há alguma equipa que está nos prédios à volta dos deles, repara que eles estão de shields, 2 shields brancos, eles vão ser puxados insta.
I don't think so too.
Eles têm que tentar tipo nivelar aquele shield para azul o mais rapidamente possível, mas não pode ser com nenhuma das equipas esteja perto deles. Tem que ser alguém a rodar, ou uma Val Culti ou qualquer merda, para conseguirem tipo melhorar o shield deles, se não estão fodidos.
I don't know who lands on banner.
Na'Vi were able to deliver, and that's a very important fight they
Já
want,
devem estar a
considering how
levar
early it is.
metagaming.
You don't want such an early buff as this.
Pá, a cena é
We
que
move to 16 now. More
não,
Bangalore
ninguém
options,
vai
more ganks
cair
will move
ali
inside to try
agora.
and
Ainda
avoid
vai demorar um
taking damage
bocado.
from that as a
O
team
pessoal
below
neste
them
mapa,
and
o pessoal
immediately.
joga bué da slow. Tipo, tens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ok, vou contar de cima para baixo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tens 9 equipas que nem sequer dentro da zona final da segunda zona estão. Tipo, ainda há bastante espaço, estás a ver? Só quando esta, por exemplo, só quando esta equipa do Chive vier para aqui e outra equipa, por exemplo, os Mute vierem para baixo, vai haver aqui uma fightzinha e o caralho. Olha, aliás, eles vão fightar já aqui, nem vão fightar ali. Aqui tinha que ser tipo esta fight aqui dos Navi com o Gnask e eles conseguirem mandar uns tiros ou alguma coisa assim do género. Mandar ali na equipa dos Comporta, do Vex e do Vex, foda-se, do Null e do Wilson. Tem que ser assim alguma coisa. Porque sei que quando eles estiverem a fightar, de maneira a eles não conseguirem olhar para eles. Porque se eles tentam mandar uns tiros a alguém e essa pessoa dá-lhe straight, vê que eles estão de branco,
That
vão
road's
logo
been
buscar o
shortened
building deles.
for Solo Q. Goats a frustrating start to Storm Point as they find themselves in 16th place. Materium now with 6 kills very early indeed. Gonna scoot their teammate inside for...
Só com o facto de eles estarem assim tão escondidos também dá-se sempre aquele problema de pá,
Too late. Try to rotate now.
I think he's gonna take him, but yeah, we can try.
eu acho que devias tentar fightar os tiros que estás a ouvir. Precisas de levelar o shield. Precisas de levelar o shield, mano.
They're trying to walk on us.
Yeah. There. Pick him outside. Go outside, both of you, and pick them on the side.
No, he's not.
Got shield on.
Pick you up.
Ok.
Just that maybe this side.
Ninguém lhes atingiu, ninguém viu que eles estavam branco.
If you guys are down, I think I'm down too. Fuck it. Yeah. Let's go.
Onde é que o Cacho vai querer cair? Não percebi.
Ui. Like 3, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3, but we
I'm
gotta
going here, okay?
I'm landing right here.
I'm good here, guys.
Careful post. They have charge.
I know. You need help?
Jax, find us a spot to play.
Okay.
Gosh, I have bubble.
I'm fine.
I think this is 3, I think.
You wanna move now, guys?
Oh, play on me.
I think this
Yet, but as we know, they're always ready for a skirmish or a fight.
Nask, que está a ver ali o Cacheiro, aquela bola.
A team who I picked to win today. They definitely won yesterday, and we got to talk to Nasky.
Ok.
Deixa
eu ver aqui o mapa e ver o que é que está a acontecer. Já agi sempre edge, independentemente do mapa. Muto também a cagarem completamente para a cena. O Caixeira está fedido, está shield branco, está bué open field. A casa está livre, não? Tá? Ok. Eles estão do outro lado. Que o problema é, estas duas equipas que estão aqui vão fightar agora e provavelmente depois vão entrar por baixo. Se bem que eles estão ali a fugir, oh caralho, eles andam a fugir uns dos outros. Então caga, estes gajos vão tentar vir por cima e provavelmente já vêm por baixo. E o problema é quando este grupo todos de jogadores começar a puxar mais para este gap deste túnelzinho aqui. Vai haver aqui um massacre do caralho. Estas equipas todas vão tentar passar por este túnel. Provavelmente os Kik vão dar o túnel a estes 4 e vêm por baixo. Mas não acredito que mais do que uma equipa consiga ficar aqui em baixo. Isto deve ser tipo os Kik a jogarem cá em baixo. Alguém deve jogar colado à pedra aqui e vai tentar de tudo ficar com o building do Caixeira. Vai ser um massacre do caralho para eles porque eles estão de shield rank e têm um bom spot, não vai ser muito fácil defendê-lo. Ou conseguem dar rapidamente umas third parties a estes gajos que estão aqui de trás, ou então o shield rank não vai ser nada fácil para segurar. O caixa está quase azul, 38.
This is a good place to get a lot of points, guys.
Não tens shield, era o que eu estava a dizer, precisas urgentemente de melhorar esse shieldzinho. Senão dificilmente segurar essa merda. Está a jogar de charge rifle, deve ser o strafe, não é?
Getting shot.
Yeah.
How much evo you have, Swiftly?
270.
Nice.
Wasting maybe way too much bullets.
Yeah, I'm wasting a lot of bullets too.
Charge rifle é uma arma tão estúpida, Jesus. Uma arma que não faz sentido nenhum existir.
Soon. Is it bubbled?
Charge rifle, all the world in front of you, nobody shooting back at you. Shows the importance of the only hit scan weapon in Apex.
Pum, pum, pum.
Wingman looking pretty
Os
nasty
gajos
as
jogam
well
muito
there,
bem
and
Edge.
ENG may be feeling the full send here, but they are quite in the open, so they've got to make a decision one way or another. We can see Bryn
Eles
moving
ainda
to a
têm
rock, and
Valkulti.
they are going to be shot
Conseguem
from
para o
other
outro lado.
directions as well. So
Go back, wobble and then go back. Wobble.
Ainda não conseguiram ter o caralho do shield azul, meu. Um azar, meu.
Boys. Next zone, the other building, their building is gonna be pushed. We just start that shit, okay? Right now, focus on holding.
O cara está a dizer exatamente o que eu estava a dizer, que é, estas equipas todas vão querer puxar para aqui. Então o que ele está a dizer é, e este primeiro building, não é? Que estas equipas vão puxar para aqui, vão ter que fightar. E é nesse momento que ele tem que dar third party, que ele tem que levelar o seu shield, senão ele não vai conseguir esse shield branco segurar este gap aqui. Vai toda a gente vir por aqui, menos uma equipa que vai ser os Kik, que vão ser os únicos que vão vir por baixo. Quase garantidamente que os Kik vão fazer isso. Vão passar por baixo. Quer dizer, não dá. Eu acho que aqui eles não conseguem passar, ou conseguem? Já nem sei. E os Kik não jogam de Valk, pois não? Horizon Zero Nothing. Onde é que isto vai?
that thermite causing him a lot of problems.
Onde é que isto é? É ali atrás, ok. Vamos ver o que é que acontece aqui. Já está a começar aqui as fights do pessoal a querer chegar à casa. A casa do caixa é esta, acho eu. E esta é a outra. Que o caixa estava a dizer que quer controlar. Quer controlar? Quer ver o que é que o pessoal faz e tentar fazer uma third party. Eles puxaram lá. Eles puxaram os gajos quando eles estavam distraídos. Nice. Yeah, puxaram que eles estavam nesta. Puxaram a casa e agora vão voltar para trás. Foda-se, não vimos, caralho.
Alright. I dropped live there, by the way.
E eles estavam a dizer, caixas estão smart, curti ter visto a puta da play, mano. Ter visto a puta da play.
I'm the king of the Walk-ins, they don't believe.
Eles eram Walk-in, ok. Foram sem fazer barulho.
I'm gonna check.
I can't get started by this building.
Aquela play que o Caixeira está sempre a dizer para fazerem e corre-lhes sempre bem. Este gajo tem um gênio, juro.
Come back close.
Gajo do caralho de Valkyrie.
It's really not important that fight.
Vocês têm que segurar isto, não?
I won.
Alguém está a dar Valkulti. Quem está a dar Valkulti? Bambino. Vexed. Está a passar por cima de toda a gente. Vai afetar esta equipa que está aqui.
So they'll have to move forward eventually. Soon they'll realize that.
Guys, they are hard focus.
Eles ainda estão vivos? Estão. Consegui matar os velhos. Joga dentro. Então tiveste a controlar a casa para estás a jogar fora. E para dentro, meu. Olha lá, Vex. Eles andaram a controlar os edifícios é para jogar dentro dos edifícios, não é para jogar fora. Posto não morras, vá lá. Posto.
Ash cracked.
Jax, can you? Jax.
Ash low. I can't. You need to watch. I cracked you.
I just.
Oh, guys.
I was healing, bro.
Bro, you have to move.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Come on.
Essa foi uma merda, mano. Então, eles fazem a decisão que é para defender estes buildings e depois estão a feitar fora. Não pode ser, mano. Pode ser. Não pode ser, mano. Mas não foi, whatever, acontece.
So much potential we've seen from this team today, but it's been taken by force in game 4 of 6.
Storm Point para eles é sempre um problema de caralho por todo o mapa, meu. Foda-se.
And hey, maybe there'll be some kills as well if they're lucky, but I don't know, when you've lost 2 of your players, you might even get pushed, they might thirst for that third, so
Caixeira tem Turbo Charge, mas não tem Extended na arma.
And then with Graceful's drone as well as he starts to fly around, see the lay of the land. Of course, we can see that they are in a very important zone, but once teams start to come in their direction, and that's not long away, they're going to be very, very busy very quickly. And if they've got to move back, I don't know where they move to, so they will have to be feeling a little nervous right now.
And you can see GMT kind of right outside of that area.
Quem é aquela equipa que está ali? É a equipa do Vilsinol. Onde é que eles vão cair? Se comporta, é.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay. Are you on us, Vilshin? Good on me also. But
no,
it's
you're
only...
not. You're not. Get the TP.
I took it by mistake.
You're fine.
Give you ult on us, I think.
Yeah, take the portal.
O Caixeira conseguiu algum canto? Ok. O Caixeira está atrás deles, não é? Exatamente. Mas ele precisa se mexer a seguir, caralho. Foi por trás onde eu estava a dizer que gostava, como quem diz, que os kick rodassem. Estes gajos vão puxar o Caixa, já foste. Já fodeu, eles estão à procura dele, não sei. Tem 2 kills. O Caixa não vai ter ulti a seguir. Tanto o Caixeira como os Comporta estão em posições de fixe. O Caixa está um bocadinho melhor, porque está dentro da zona. O Null e o Vils já não. Mas pode ser que consigam apanhar kills daqui e já lhes compensa um bocado estarem fora da zona. Quem é que está aqui a afetar?
24 points on. It's not looking good for Unlucky, but he's hitting his shield battery, facing off against the Horizon. She's throwing the black hole as well. There's a shield swap available. Tyler, he needs it. He's got to go back. He gets the red, though. That is nothing. Gets the white. 50's better than none. And he somehow comes out on top of that one. What a play from Tyler FPS.
Toda a gente a tentar matar o Caixa. Ah não, estou a tentar matar os Comporta. O Caixa está dentro da zona. Que lindo. Será que este gajo... Será que o Caixa vai conseguir fazer alguma coisa aqui? Era lindo se o Caixa conseguisse.
Oh, easy, bro.
Era lindo, lindo, lindo. Os T-Rex conseguem ver ali os Comporta? Conseguem. Só está o Null vivo, foda-se, ele está fora da zona.
Wait for everyone to fight and then you gotta instant.
Yeah, but this team won't push me.
Yeah, but they will not be able to.
E o Caixa, como é que está? Ok, o Caixa está fixe. Eu se fosse o Caixa nem sequer disparava aqui. Então, pessoal... É o Null. Não? Não. O Graceful. Ok, não interessa. Vamos ver agora a partir daqui.
For one of our favorites in the lobby, T-Rex, though, we talked about how big they were going. Can they do it again here? Blast
acontece aqui. Pronto, os Comporta também já foram. Morreram agora para a mesma equipa que matou o Caixa. Temos Kick, Blast.
And be much more aware of where players have to go within the space, because you can't quite see them.
T-Rex are going deep again. Last 4 now, but look at the names around them. King, Kangana and Navi. No slouches in these final 4.
Daqui a bocado alguma destas equipas vai dar. Eles jogam de Bangalore em Storm Point. Depois uma pé tão aberto faz sentido.
people have been really on point with them, especially Kick, and they
Faz
continue to
sentido,
deliver.
eu não
Graceful
jogava.
has his ult ready, but when is the best time to use
Prefiro
it?
ter
23
give.
seconds before that zone starts to close in, and if we can find the right angle, maybe just ruin the shields just before the moment where a team wants to make a play, that would be perfect timing, but it's hard to find perfection.
Ui, os Navi só têm o Sunny vivo. O resto está morto, está tudo morto.
Get that timing just right, and you've got to do it when they need to leave and they can't stay and are forced to engage with half shields. But when is that timing, and how do you avoid you taking damage yourself, especially if a team decides to push you?
One skills que os Kicks já têm neste jogo.
You often knowing if there's a crypto, like on Kungarna, you want to be the one to make the move onto the crypto, not a Sincere. Probably going to be the last team involved in this if things go their way, because Sanya is the lone solo next to, of course, T-Rex and Kick. And it is not looking great, I think, from the bottom ground. Kungarna haven't had a lot of kills in this game, but they've played the best positional game so far. It's really going to be a matter of can they execute here with the crypto ult in hand. That could be the game changer, James.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the only ult that's going to be used, as we can see that O'Rain is sitting on a Bangalore ult. We might have some zones as well.
Isto vai ser a loucura agora. Este ulti.
A very small
ulti da Bangalore aqui.
T-Rex are waiting. They've got a Jibby in the hole, so there's going to be all kinds of bombardments on the way eventually. O'Rain's going to create some space, and here comes the Bangalore ult now. Here comes the Crypto ult on the other side as well. Everybody's going to be forced forward. Now we can see the Gibraltar Dome in the background, and that might be a push from one of these teams. Kick trying to heal up, trying to hide behind us as best they can. Quietly sneaking into the dome. They find a little angle for some cheap cover, and maybe some cheap KP as well.
3 squads left. Kick is trying to survive. OJ Rain, he's the one we've been watching. He's got the red shield up to 75, but that's not going to be enough against 3 members of Kungarna, who I talked about have played this slow. They played it steady, but they have played it to win. Graceful with the crypto EMP. It has worked to put the resources of the enemies down to about nil.
Não puxaram os Kick, deixaram dar reset.
On T-Rex here.
Não, o Shaka ainda está morto.
Toe to toe. Kick still alive and kicking. But it seems like Kungarna certainly have the upper hand here. Can they jump down and do something with these
conseguiram, estavam quase mortos, conseguiram o segundo lugar.
It is just Kungarna. It is T-Rex who have probably fallen here as well. So Kungarna and Kick fight for the win. Kick already in the leaderboards. It's
Second place para os Kills.
looking to switch things up and take the top of the table. What a full game from KNG.
Beautiful work from Kungarna.
Os KNG estavam em quarto.
Uncomfortable for the longest time at the end there. No shields, no bats, nothing. Just standing there with no.
Quantas kills é que eles
cover.
fizeram
Just the
aqui?
only thing he had with his team around him and height above both those squads. I was wondering if people were going to start healing, just hiding below.
Quantas kills é que eles ficaram aqui? Será que passaram os 600? 19 pontos. Oh, os Kick passaram de certeza. 22 pontos, nós fizemos 5. Merda. Porcaria de Storm Point atrasa-nos sempre tanto.
That wins you match point tournaments. The game that is slow, it's steady, you don't need to be flashy, you are efficient, you get kills, but you make sure you are the last team standing. And just
Pois foi porque estavam também na pedra, como o Cash estava.
That was happening right to the right of Kungarna. They were patient. They didn't expose themselves.
Eu não me
They
lembro.
didn't get involved. It was a really well-earned win. And a big shout out
Eu não
to
percebi
teams
como é que estava dos Kick, estavam 2 knocked e ninguém me puxa.
Who were lights out with a 10-kill match.
Yeah, Na'Vi is a team that's a brand you want to see heading upwards. A very nice performance from them. And Kick are certainly a team that we're mentioning more and more and more. But looking towards the bottom half of the table, Solo Q going to be very disappointed with the early buff. They were forced to have
0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
only 1 point away from that. Same could be said for GMT. One of the big favourites after yesterday's performance coming into today. Vex, a team that were doing well earlier on, only 3 points from this game. So somebody wins, someone has to lose as well.
And I like that it's happening from Kick, from KNG, teams that, you know, are within and close to that top 10. Kick being 10th, KNG, I believe, being 15th in the overall leaderboards. Certainly a 1-2 finish here would jump them well up and put a lot of pressure on the rest of Europe with only a few days to go before playoffs are essentially sealed.
Only
JW,
some days to go before the playoffs.
he is continuing to do so.
Queria ver
No
o
need for the Kraber though in his hands. It felt like it might have been a weapon today. Certainly proving it
overall
isn't. It's just a team
positioning,
thing
mas
today.
isto não atualiza.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much Kraber today, and the Lobas
Já
have been
atualizou, ok.
absent as well, but there's still signs
Ficamos
of both
apenas a
those
8
things
pontos
to
atrás.
appear. But again,
Mas temos
the
os
information
ENG
being
a
very
2
key, of
pontos.
course, Crypto having the range to get that beacon
ENG estão
information,
aqui muito
find
perto.
your best positions,
Com 48,
although
nós estamos
it
com
did feel
50.
vulnerable when they were
E
on
o
the
Skip
edge of
passa para a frente
Shipfall,
com
the circle around
58.
them. There was nothing to hide behind, save for that slope. So if more teams came their way, then who knows what might have happened. But they never got there, able to hold their position, and that will allow them to move up the table. But it is Kick who are going to be number 1. 58 points, 8 ahead of Ascend and 10 ahead of Kungana. Still tight at the top. T-Rex have to be mentioned as well. Had a deep run in that game, find themselves on 42 points. So there are many teams contesting for that top spot with these last 2 games to go.
Oh,
sim.
And you see actually
Ainda
a little
falta
bit more
muito
of a
jogo,
spread at the
2
top
jogos dá
now.
para
This
fazer
is
muita ponte.
not that same thing where teams 1 through 8 are, 12 points away from each other. No,
Skis
team 1 through 8,
Esports.
38 points away from each other. It is a full game and a half's worth of a good game and a half's points that is separating.
Agora vai ser para aí mais 2 ou 3 minutos, parada, cama seca.
2 halves of the lobby.
Yeah, and of course, it's always going to be lacking towards the bottom. A frustrating day for Solo Q Goats. We were looking at them yesterday to see what kind of consistency we can see from them. Of course, with all these teams here, very hard to be consistent, and today especially hard at present, but they can still salvage something because, again, even the small points matter as all these teams try to secure their position, their path to Sweden. That's what it all counts for, really. So you can never give up. 2 more games, which means that there's plenty more points to achieve for the squad, and just try and keep pushing forward into that top 10.
E como é que
Let's
está
check
o outro
along the
grupo?
secondary leaderboard as well for those watching, because we are playing
era o que eu ia
2
ver.
match days in 1, essentially. Both of these games are here today, and you can catch it on the other broadcast happening. We'll give you the link to that in a moment. Empire, though, out to the lead here. ANC outplayed just behind 11 points.
Fenerbahçe Esports.
Totem Morning Stars following 3-4-5.
Adoro ver aqui o players.
Yeah, Empire starting to pull
Como
away
tiveram
now,
que sair da
but we'll
Rússia
see
para poder
if
jogar,
other teams can
não
have
havia
more
equipa,
say
parece
in
ali
that in the
players.
final 2 games. As for the bottom half, we can see that Guild are not having the best time at the moment. Magicians and Solaris as well towards the bottom. Scars, a team,
Ei,
another
que
team
se
in terms
passa
of
com os
consistency
Guild,
like Solo Q
mano?
Goats, find themselves in about 15th place. So they'll be looking for way more than that.
Matar Facility Horizon tão
Yeah, you
mali hoje.
out, and I think this is it. Every team we know, I think there
Mali.
are at least, in some of these days, 12 teams that could probably win. But it's a matter of which 5 are going to show up. And will it even be the same 5 from yesterday? It has much more been about consistency versus capability in Europe and EMEA. And we will see if that continues or if somehow some of these teams that have slowly started, like GMT, like Solo Q Goats, pick themselves up by the bootstraps and start having a heck of a game 5 and 6. They're going to need it. Kick, they're feeling pretty good. However, going into game 5, we'll leave that to Tom and Vicky to discuss as we take a quick break. We'll be back with more ALGS action in EMEA after this.
After this. Quanto tempo é que falta?
They got the rest. They're fighting. We need to look down.
They're fighting. We need to look down.
Just stay up. I'm in dome. Blood under me. Knocked.
Bang, Go, boys.
Ok, 3 minutos para começar. Diz em cima do timer onde diz next game in. I love hearing that he climbed on me. Escreveram no chat da ALGS. What's the other stream for the other game? Sim, não se esqueçam que está a ver os 2 grupos ao mesmo tempo. Nós estamos a ver este porque é o que tem as equipas portuguesas todas, não é? Mas tem este aqui do lado esquerdo. Está a decorrer agora. Se os meterem interesse e quiserem ver, pá, força nisso. Mas isto não jogaram What? O que se passa? Os Magicians não estão a jogar? Bruno? Pois Silva, como estás? Estou aqui. Como estou bué da morto, estou cheio de sono e assim. Aproveitei, pronto, estou a ver o torneio ALGS. Como estou cheio de sono, não tenho vontade nenhuma de fazer nada. Ia ficar estiado, tipo, na cama provavelmente a ver o torneio na TV. Olha, estou aqui estiado a ver o torneio na mesma e assim vou falando com vocês e assim. E contigo, como é que vai esse fim de semana, mano?
The matches are heating up, but you can't keep us on ice much longer. It's Vicky and C-Squared bringing you the action on Storm Point. We have so many awesome teams fighting it out, but wow, we've seen some serious slaying power and consistency from teams like Kick, T-Rex.
Let's go. Let's go, guys.
Vocês já viram que já foi anunciado o LAN do Apex na Suécia? Estou a pensar ir.
Thermite here.
To be honest.
I will to make something for you, Cash.
Tens lá os TS, tens as equipas americanas de topo, tens o Cacheira, vais ter provavelmente os Kick.
Wingman if you find. Or Mastiff.
Ter as melhores equipas todas da Apex no mesmo sítio, ser na Europa e um gajo não ir, é um bocado.
I think it's bottom top, guys.
You think
bocado
so?
estranho.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I got Mastiff, let's go.
We can cruise over here.
I think we should
You look up?
Ok, vamos direitos.
No, I'm gonna have 140 close.
Ora bem, vamos ver aqui a zona. A zona está a puxar sudoeste. Isto é tão uma zona. Para eles é boa porque está muito perto, mas eles não vão conseguir passar para o lado mais sul. O que vai tornar tudo bastante mais complicado porque vão ter que apanhar com estas rotações esta gente toda, vai ter que rodar pelo lado todo que o Caixeira tiver a defender. Aqui. Estas zonas todas, esta gente toda vai ter que vir por aqui. Neste caso, os comporta estão um bocadinho melhores, que têm só aqui uma equipa para defrontar e conseguem entrar aqui pela parte de trás. E depois só terão de se preocupar com os kick, mas o Caixeira tem muita gente que vai puxar na direção deles. Não sei como é que eles vão fazer isto. Vamos ver.
Let's go. This is the ultimate storm there, Cash.
Let's go this way.
You see? Okay.
They're coming to me right there.
Quero ver qual é o pensamento que ele vai ter.
I thought it's say someone coming to you. 30 damage.
Need to move. I farm your shield. I farm your shield. Come.
I need 14. Okay. Okay, I got it.
I didn't get shotgun ammo.
I have, I can give you.
This is open. Ah, it was cash.
Para onde é que eles estão a ir? Deixa-me ver melhor. Ok, eles estão já a tomar o controle da parte da frente. O Vex e o Null já estão prontos a fazer o que nós falámos há bocado. Tentar ir para aqui cedo, para esta casa. Vão ter que depois controlar esta equipa e a equipa dos Kick. Mas é mais fácil para eles. Eles só têm que evitar fightar com os Navi e com o Cash. Mostrar tipo, olha, esta casa não é para ti. Mas o Cash já está aí para lá, por isso o Null vai ter que fazer outra decisão. E o Wilson. Estes aqui estão bem, que é os Rats. A equipa do Mania estão bem. O Zippet vai estar bem aqui. O maior problema vai ser quem ficar a defender esta zona, porque olhem a quantidade de equipas que temos aqui a norte e a este. E a nordeste, vá. Estas equipas todas, desde a da azul até aqui aos 69 IQ, têm todos que vir puxar nesta direção dos Vexed. Eles provavelmente não vão jogar ali, acho que eles acabaram de dar Valcult, mas quem ficar a controlar este gap aqui e este gap aqui vai levar com esta gente toda.
Stormpoint isn't as powerful as we usually see on
Estão a
World's
comparar
Edge.
aqui o
So Ascend
Cachera
now
com
taking that
o
high ground
Graceful.
over by Barometer, this is a really good spot for them. Not only do they manage to get here and see that Navi's already made their transition into that building, but they're also going to have the beacon control on the high ground on top of it all.
Right on cue, there goes.
O Cachera ficou com a casa que o Wilson queria. O Wilson vai ficar aqui um bocadinho fora da zona. Dentro da próxima, mas fora da segunda, à espera de ver uma oportunidade de adquirir alguma coisa. Estas equipas todas deram tudo Valcult, isto está tudo no mesmo sítio, isto não tem tanto espaço como parece aqui no mapa, por isso isto vai haver bastantes fights agora. Já está a haver, aliás, estava ali já uma bubble na stream oficial. Já estava a ver aqui uma fight numa bubble. Vai começar aqui a loucura já. Caiu toda a gente cedo. Pensou toda a gente cedo que literalmente todos pensaram, ok, isto vai ser impossível controlar esta zona com tantas equipas a dar land aqui, vamos todos já tentar ir para lá e fazer um salve se quem puder e ver quem é que fica com a melhor posição. Claro que eles agora vão conseguir sempre um bocadinho, mas à medida que as zonas vão avançando, não há assim tanto espaço quanto isso.
Showing in that composition, but I love the grenades. I love the thought process there. They just unfortunately weren't able to counter, and you saw the counter nades coming out from the enemy team.
It's just so crazy to see so many teams run Gibulous compositions. That bubble just provides so much cover, not only against the third parties, but to allow these really aggressive engagements. But you know what? You make do with what you got. You make do with the composition, and you have to play into those compositions, which is why we see a lot of those Bangalore's, those Bloodhound double whammies, as we see Cake also rocking that. Underrated, another team also trying to continue on with their domination, but they're getting contested inside this building. They lose Jazaz, but they finish off that team. It was Team Rex. So surprising.
Ok. Os que estão aqui a fightar? Não. Não percebi. Só aqui a ver. Caixeira está bem. O Wilson está fora da próxima, mas já está bem. Tem que ter atenção que os Kick vão querer passar por naquela direção. Tem que estar atento às costas para não morrer.
Someone will still come here.
Exatamente. Entrei na stream deles no momento exato em que eles estão a dizer que alguém vai na direção deles.
Ending is, if he's not close to Barometer, it's only if Skull there.
Não, vai Baron. Vai Barometer. Caixeira, se conseguir segurar esta posição, está ótimo. Charge Rifle. Charge Rifle vai dar aí os shields de uma maneira. Só tem que conseguir segurar isto agora. Ele tem visão aqui para todo lado, mano. Com a Charge Rifle vai ser um mimo. Se o pessoal se meter a picar. 1, 2, 3. 3 sítios para jogar ali.
balas, ter balas quanto isso. Eu tenho 38, cacho.
Oh, Crypto playing below us.
The house below, right?
I don't know. I didn't see any.
He called it like close. He was close.
Yeah, I know.
Desculpem, chat, esqueci-me que estava zoomed. Ai bem.
Why you need to be careful?
They might walk on us.
Vamos ver o que é que se passa aqui. Quem é que está a jogar Edge?
Zipline, I mean.
Yeah. Just bubble. Just bubble post. Follow me.
One is playing Edge, but
Final 3 replicators being in hand, and that purple bag's always going to be pretty nice.
Forga
A lot of these
Gang.
teams usually hang out outside of the ring in Storm Point.
Forga Gang a jogar Edge. Temos o JG também Edge. Temos 789 aqui a querer fazer uma fightzinha. Os Kik vão agora defrontar os Comporta. Isto vai ser ainda interessante. Porque eles vão querer jogar neste edifício aqui. Vai toda a gente tentar jogar para este edifício aqui. O Cash vai ter ângulos para dar third party se eles estarem aqui muito para trás, digamos assim, se não estarem avançado. A casa deles é capaz de estar dentro. Parece aqui que vê-se um bocadinho dentro, mas não sei, não conheço bem o mapa. Há que terem atenção a isto, que é, se eles fizerem uma fight aqui, tanto os Kik como os Comporta, eles vão ter sempre visibilidade third party destes gajos, destes dois aqui, do Cacheira e dos Navi. Eles têm que ter atenção à fight que vão fazer aqui.
Getting as much loot that they need. They have a face.
Team lining
O Cash continua a dar o seu shieldzinho.
That might fight, I think. They trying to fight.
Sniper ammo somewhere, but I don't know.
Fuck this guy.
Fuck this guy.
There's a team playing for that shit.
Yeah, I think.
Target spotted.
I think it's Finny.
Yeah, they have Horizon.
Yeah, I think we just control this side of the map, guys. Like, if someone plays here, we just pressure them.
No one will play there. Não há literalmente ninguém quer ir para ali. Só se fosse os... Ui, os Kik vão começar agora a avançar em direção do Wilson. Eles não estão a ouvir nada. Não.
You guys hear this?
What?
When I scope in?
Yeah, something, I listen.
Os AGs estão a chegar por trás também, o caralho.
Police people.
Yeah, ouviram.
Let them to come in. I think they go to the bridge or some shit.
Yeah.
Os Kik foram à volta, mas os AG estão atrás deles. Eu não sei se eles ouviram os AG. Não sei se... não sei. Ainda não.
Maybe wait until zone close. Here. They're coming. Below.
Below. Here.
Going in for a kill.
Don't make noise, don't make noise. Are they in?
Yeah, below.
No, on roof. Be careful.
Let's go this way.
They will have to come. From below.
Ready?
Ah, não podes falhar, mano.
They are low.
I naded.
Mano, você não pode.
I'm holding the door. On the roof, I think. One guy's on the roof.
Yeah.
Portals to the bridge, maybe, no? Are we good?
For now. No.
Oh, I took it.
Bubble.
Take it back.
Eu não faço a mínima ideia como é que eles perderam esta fight.
Watch the... Behind you, Wilson, behind you, on the door.
O Cash está a dar a third party que nós falámos há bocado. Que iria acontecer. O Vex matou o JG. O Cash matou o Wilson.
They have one knock. I think you take TV with me.
I think we
They're
don't.
resing.
O Jackson anda ali em baixo, mano.
I'm going back. They res. Fuck.
You can play on top of the bridge for angles. Like there was no need to queue.
They res. There's a full team too.
Era o que eu estava a dizer há bocado. Ali era muito difícil vê-los conseguir fazer ali alguma coisa. Eles iam ter sempre visibilidade para ele.
We can hold them off. Jax, maybe you can play aggro, no?
Yeah, you can play that.
I'm gonna
They
take
have one
this
knock, bro.
There's someone swap with me. Wait.
Quem é que sobrou ali? Sobrou dois de JG. Okay.
Someone swap, please.
Yeah,
Jax.
take.
Are they still inside the zone?
And they have a flash portal. So be careful.
Yeah, I know they give you, but they res. Could ease the wipe them maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we could, but I don't want to.
O cara está fora da zona. A zona puxa tão sul, meu Deus. Como é que ele vai fazer aqui? Que rotação é que o Cash vai fazer aqui?
4 bats.
Give me one.
Vale culto para onde?
They have to. Okay, take it, post. They have to move below us, probably.
Yeah, we kill them, no? Like,
Just
they're
hold
left.
up.
Hey, this guy healing, what the fuck?
Watch team Falcon. Above us.
All you. Where they going?
They're going far
Cracked
away.
one.
On his flash!
Can you pick them? Can you pick them on the zip?
No, they are good.
They're good on what?
This team moving.
I'm chilling.
This team moves outside.
Going outside?
Yeah, they're right here.
We should go here.
Side.
Oh yeah, they have to move though.
45, 130. One Ash.
You need to be aware of the teams on the zip line.
Yeah.
You need to watch, I'm watching this team.
Contact with target.
Aqui um vídeo. Troca de shield.
Guy on top.
Making contact with enemy.
Eles têm um botão para dropar o
They
shield.
have to move. These guys have to move. They are fucked. Focus on this team.
Tem um botão para isto
If they
também.
move below us, let them move because there's a team below us.
Yeah.
Enemy spotted.
They have to move, you need to watch with
Hostile close.
Está a ficar sem balas.
They're right here, one of them.
Yeah.
Eles vão ter que se mexer dali, mas vão fazer
I think
portal
they're waiting
de
for
Ash.
Ash TP.
They're fucked because that team is
Momento
helping
que eu
us as
digo
well. Like
isso,
that team is peeking. I'm not even
o
gonna
Vex
shoot
diz
them.
a mesma coisa, que
Yeah,
acha que eles vão fazer Ash TP. Eu jogo tanto, eu percebo tanto isto. Estou a brincar, chato, não me tratem mal. Percebo só um bocadinho, não percebo muito.
We 3 with them, I have one.
Yeah, just be ready to 3P. That's the seven.
I mean, they're not in, they have to move.
Closed door here.
What are they doing? Just be ready, guys, shoot them. Are they in?
No, they're not.
They're in the corner, I think. They're
Oh,
in.
they are.
Bro, this map is... Can I hit beacon maybe?
Can you hit beacon?
Oh, I missed the kill.
I can bubble you.
Beacon cash?
Guess we just walk close.
Yeah, but do you wanna hit beacon? They're gonna nade it, they're gonna
I don't.
fuck. 45, they're moving! We go.
We're fine.
I might nade them, bro.
Yeah, nade them. I'm gonna nade them as well.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, I'm nading.
Falhaste, Cash.
They're on top.
Bro, like... Well, you wanna hit beacon? Cash?
No, I don't. We don't need beacon.
You wanna ball code somewhere?
I don't see a team there.
Let's scope this quadrant out here.
Tá ali um gajo na esquerda. É isso.
You wanna play roof maybe?
Exatamente onde
That team
estás
is
a
free.
disparar.
That side is free. That building is free. Can we take
You
it?
wanna go? Yeah.
Let me change the gun.
Are you sure it's free?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, go.
The top is free? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, the top building is free. They are playing the entire building.
Bubble if you need.
I'm gonna try to show that we're going to another spot. And then we just dive.
Está aí um gajo, não está?
And we just chill.
I'm holding it out, okay?
Yeah, I'm holding it up.
Não está ninguém. What? Como é que não está ninguém a jogar ali? Porque estes gajos estão a passear ali. Porque é que o Gnosk está a jogar Edge? O Gnosk não costuma jogar Edge. O Zipa também está a passear ali. perceber a lógica desta gente, mas sure.
Love watching Graceful on the crypto, just the
Solo
way that
que
he's
já
able to
tem
get
3
all that
kills.
information.
Don't play too much outside, okay? But
If someone Ash ulti on us, I'm gonna insta ulti. Okay?
Yeah.
there's a team playing from this side. Jax, play with me.
Okay. I'm with you. I see.
Be careful with Valk. Be careful with
45.
Valk.
I'm gonna tell
Get them?
They
Yeah,
found a
maybe.
move.
Hey, Bubble.
Cover the team below, they might walk on us. They're trying to Ash. Give me the 45.
Aqueles gajos estão a
Gotta go
fazer.
inside.
Give me your
Inside
flash.
ulti. Give me ulti.
2 cells, guys.
I have cells. Give you. Take.
Me too. No door.
Cover the team.
Focus side. Oh, those guys are actually fine.
Está ali do lado direito.
I give you cells, guys.
Let's go this way.
I think they're right here. 45, 91, 1 HP. I can't hit them. Might be good. No, this
Guys,
shit.
I need a salad.
I do.
No.
Fighting below.
Come here, come on me.
No.
On me.
They bubble.
Gás, para aí o ulti Excel, caralho, tens 58 segundos.
Chill, guys. We gotta.
On me.
Chill. Behind you, Cash.
Yeah, I need any bubble on the post.
1 HP below.
Jax, come here.
He's picking.
Stay away from me, guys.
I'm going deep inside. I'm
1
going
HP,
deep
one of them.
inside.
Yeah.
You're alone, Jax.
On each two. I made one of them 1 HP.
We just walk close.
Teammate. They're climbing. Gonna walk out?
Later.
I'm healing. I'll wait for my only bot.
I have TV too. Take.
Wasting my only bath.
I have TV by the way. Oh how did I get hit?
They're all cold.
Hey, there's gonna be a shit fest outside.
They're fighting here on the outside.
Uma foi uma merda, claro que vai ser uma shit defesa outside, meu.
I'm gonna ult.
Puta de mapa estúpida.
Yeah, hold that shit. Fuck. The guy now
Zone is moving.
Guys, on me.
Jax, fast.
Go.
Onde é que eles vão jogar?
Let's take it slowly.
I have bubble.
Maybe here?
Now we need to shoot out. We gotta fight, bro.
Maybe fight this team, bro.
Enemy over there.
Yeah.
Maybe here. Fight them.
Yeah.
I think we fight them. Bubble. Bubble and push. 38. Give me block. Give me one.
Send it.
Touch.
Jax. What was that?
Oh, I
called,
just
Jax?
so much damage.
Wait for the bubble.
Jax, you did so much damage, but you're in a 1v3, bro. You're never gonna kill them. They have swaps. Look at their swaps.
Este mapa é uma merda, mas não dá
Directly
para
in
jogar
front of
lado
them.
nenhum.
You can see the charged up Sentinel. It's not charged up anymore, but they don't even have time to do that as all of the players are filtering over towards the water. Perfect situation to be in for GMT. Let's see how many kill points they can put on the board. Meanwhile, Solo Q Goats trying to fight their way over from underneath the bridge. Shiv with the movement god on this Bangalore, the double time in the shots as well to boot. That flatline Volt has so much ammo. What a job there from Solo Q Goats. Now GMT is going to be able to pick them apart with Kick, and Kick versus GMT for the final fight here in match number 5.
Shiv was moving, and the phase breach to get back onto the high ground. GMT have everything available to them. Not only do they have the shield swaps, they got the emergency respawn beacons to play around for extra cover. This is where they predicted the circle was going to pull, and this was such a good move from GMT to hold this final circle. They have the natural cover of the rocks. Kick is just forced to play off of this open ground unless they have a way to close in this gap. They have the phase breach, but they don't have a giving bubble to actually secure that space. GMT get the first crack here, and they got the Spitfire in their hands.
São todos novinhos.
Nasky sees the damage, he sees the opening.
Com uma
He's pushing
mentalidade do
now, and
caralho,
the shots are landing onto Kick. It's a 2 versus 1. Max Strafey and Nasky looking extremely healthy throughout all this, and that's all she wrote. Our winners from yesterday now taking match number 5 and getting back on the top of that leaderboard. Nicely done from the GMT squad.
We've had a winner, a different winner, for every single one of our games in the EMEA region. I love how consistent all of these top spots have been, but also how close a lot of these EMEA teams have been too.
I loved the positioning there from GMT and the call out from you, Vicky, of who was going to go and push them. I was anticipating maybe a skyward dive after that. A lot of the teams ended up just footing it over there because there wasn't any opportunity to go for the skyward dive. They were all layered on top of each other.
It was crazy too because you saw that the opportunity was there. You had to try to push onto that, but GMT, everybody funneled into their point of view, 13 kills and a dub on top of everything. An amazing look here for GMT. What's most impressive also to note is that game number 2 when T-Rex had won, they still hold the most kills after taking a dub. And